Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Good afternoon, good evening, tasty. Good morning, guys. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a really good Sunday. It looks like, checking now, it looks like Ozkilling got first, so congratulations. Reed is here as well, so is Piney TF. Anonymous Biker as well, good evening, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Bacon3 as well says hello, chat. Hey man, good to see you. JQ UK is here as well, so is Ballboy and Shummy. I'm just going to put the heating on because it's a bit cold in here. I'll turn that off in a few minutes' time. Mellow RS, thank you so much for being here as well. So is RL Keebs and Herman Strauss too. Chartered Music, thank you so much for 17 months of subs, dude. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Appreciate everyone who subs or helps through Ko-fi or however you support the channel. It's very much appreciated. Ojam's here as well, so is Anarchy. Manu, thank you so much for subscribing for 3 months with Prime. I appreciate you, dude. No Salad, No Sauce is here as well. So is Nico Gaffer, Geeky Ed as well, Angry Swan, True Blaze, Captain Reed. Thank you so much for a 10-month streak on the subs as well, Mr. Reed. Thank you so much. Laser Keiko is here too. Average Joe, hey man, glad to see you like the treats. Dude, Dude, those Icelandic treats, the Harun, Harun, and there's a pack of them just over there. They are so good. So good. Thank you so much for the treats from Iceland. I thoroughly appreciate that. Mellow RS, thank you so much for 3 months of subs as well. Currently on a 1 month streak. Captain Redlack as well. He's here. Good evening, sir. Zanombi says, please give my appreciation to Mel for what she did. Sure, I don't know what she did, Zanombi, but I will pass on your appreciation. Thank you so much for the Switch giveaway. They're awesome. No worry, Dynamics. I'm glad you got them. There was a lot of Switches in that pile, so I hope they come to some use to you, good sir. So thank you very much for that. Okay, so I think that's all the welcomes done. It's going to be an interesting stream today because we've got a load of stuff happening here at PT over the next few weeks, and it's the kind of run up to Christmas now. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. Never seen so many Switches before. Yeah, I wanted to guess that there was about 1,000 Switches in there minimum, but I think there was probably closer to 3,000 Switches in that box that we sent you. But I hope you're good. I hope you're good. For Mel was noticed in the 6th pile. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Mel and I and the mods were talking about it because like when we posted the picture, we were all having a laugh seeing how long it would take for someone to notice that there were six piles rather than 5. So Mel and I were here at the workshop and the moderators were in the mod chat and we were talking about it and I was like, I wonder how long it's going to take someone to notice after we posted the picture. Tasty. Anyway, yeah. Mr. Gimp, thank you so much for the 90 month subs. Oh, she sent out your keycaps because she messed up and bought them with the no. No worries, that's what we do. We'll fix things when people order them. So yeah, not a problem at all. Yeah, so we gave away a ton of Switches just as a fun giveaway. Those Switches were basically odds and ends I've had lying around from my personal collection in this room, which I've been tidying up for the past couple of months. Yes, it has taken me months. So yeah, we need to bless me. That crept up on me. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure they went to a good home rather than me just throwing them away because I have no use for them. So there was a lot of Switches there. And then the booby prize effectively was another bundle of these Switches that we had tucked away in the workshop. So it was good fun. Keep Dweeb, thank you so much for the gift subs to Nearly Gamers. Thank you so much. I thoroughly appreciate that. Thank you. True Blaze, thank you so much for 2 years of subs as well. Thank you, dude. That's crazy. Happy 2nd PT birthday. That's really, really
tasty,
cool.
Tasty.
Right. So coffee time first. Good coffee. Even if it is my own coffee, I still have to say it's good coffee. Right, so what's happening this next week? So there's a little thing coming up next weekend called Black Friday and Cyber Monday. The exclusive is we will be doing something. I hadn't planned on doing something for Black Friday or Cyber Monday because we had the PT birthday sale just a couple of weeks ago. But it's something that has become apparent that people want. So based off the number of DMs, the number of emails, and the number of comments I've seen around different social media platforms, people are looking for a Black Friday deal. So we will be launching some Black Friday deals. These will go live to the general public on Monday evening at 6 PM and there'll be an announcement on Discord tomorrow. But for you guys on stream, we're going to make those available a little bit early for you. So you'll be able to use these on stream right now if you order during the stream. These will be turned off the moment the stream finishes and won't be turned back on until 6 PM tomorrow night. So let me give you a rundown of what I'm about to turn on. So in just a minute, I'm going to turn on 3 automatic discounts. These discounts are basically going to be our Black Friday sales. They're literally only going to be live today for the duration of the stream. As soon as the stream finishes, they're going to be closed. They won't come back until Monday at 6 PM when we announce it correctly to everyone, when the full announcement goes out and it's all advertised correctly on the website. So the first discount we're going to do is 10% off of all in-stock keyboards. Okay, let me I'm just trying to edit the date now. What time is it now? 8:08 PM. Okay, let me set that to 8 PM. Okay, so that's now live. You don't need to add any codes or anything else to cart. This will happen automatically. You will get 10% off any in-stock keyboard that you would like to buy just by checking it right now. This is live on the site right now. The other thing, hold on, let me just make sure that is live right now. Yes, it's live right now. The next thing that we'll be doing is we'll be doing 12% off of all in-stock keycap sets. That is also going to be live in just a second when I set it going. And that is now live as well. So you don't need to do anything, you just need to add it to cart and check out as normal. You'll get the discounts. You can stack these discounts as well, so that's fine. If you want to add keyboard and key set, that'll work too. And then the third thing we're going to do is 30% off of for Black Friday off of artisans and desk mats. I'm just going to put that one live now. Now, as I say, these will cease to be live at the end of the stream. So you've basically got until the end of the stream to use them. They'll only come back at the end of Monday when we announce it on Discord. So yeah, bear that in mind. So just to recap, 30% off any in-stock artisan and any in-stock desk mat, 12% off any in-stock key set, and 10% off any in-stock keyboard kit. There you go. Make use of that if you would like across the website right now. In fact, I can show you what those look like. Let's get the website up. Where is the website? I do have it open somewhere. Let me share that with you now.
Tasty, tasty.
Thank you, Bosch, for the subscription. I thoroughly appreciate you, good sir. Thank you so much. So this is the website right now. If you go to keyboard kits, hold on, I have something in my cart. Let's clear out this. What was I playing around with? Oh yeah.
Tasty, tasty.
So if we go to in-stock keyboard kits and we put, I don't know, one of the PT175 keyboard kits in stock, and we go to checkout, look, you get the Black Friday discount. The Black Friday discount automatically works. You don't have to do anything. So that's all live across the website now for key sets, artisans, desk mats, and keyboards. So have fun with that if you would like to, guys. Whilst we're on the website, I might as well show you some other cool stuff. We've also got KLC EC components in stock right now. So if you are interested in Topra and how that might feel, electrocapacitive components, these are in stock, ready to ship. We've sold quite a fair few of these. All sorts of domes, springs, you name it, we've got it. 1U packs, 2U packs. We've got everything you could possibly need for the KLC stuff, and we're going to be restocking more of this if it sells well, so bear that in mind. And I also took this pretty cool picture that I'm happy with as well. Other things to call out is that we've also got Neo Ergos, GMK Shinseki, Type Plus stabilizers, all sorts of stuff in stock as well. The last 4 of your CC should their PT address. Yeah, PT address is fine. Everyone knows PT address. Yeah. The CC is like, it's the 4 digits. No one's going to get it from that. It's fine. It's fine. Oscar Lane, thank you so much for 7 months of subs. Sewing bow ties for wedding whilst watching J stream. Crafty Sunday engage. Crafty Sunday sounds good. I like it. Yeah, and then on pre-orders, DCS Sportwalker and DCS Smart, I had a really good long conversation with Will from Signature Plastics the other day. We now have these 2 live on the website, so do take a look at those. DCS Smart is particularly good. And then in terms of group buys, Boneyard R2 is now live. I know a lot of people have been asking for this for a long time. I mean, look at the novelties on this. This is such a cool set. It is such a cool set. And that's all now live in group buy as well. So yeah, take a look at all those guys. More coming this week. You'll see the news as we go through it. Other things to call out as well. Jay's Roastery. If you want to try our coffee, you can do. jaysroaststory.co.uk. Classics blend, fiction blend, sci-fi blend, all in stock, ready to go. We're constantly roasting more coffee. At the minute, literally today, all of the blends are in roast at the roastery. So these will be able to be shipped out ready for tomorrow as well. So there we go. Cool. Okay, that's advertising and chilling done. Let's get back to the stream. So, secret offers. Yeah, secret offers. I'm not sure that it's secret, but you guys just get access to the Black Friday stuff a little bit early, that's all. So you basically can get 10% off of any in-stock keyboard, 12% off any in-stock key set, and 30% off any in-stock desk mat or artisan today whilst the stream's live, and then that offer will be back at 6 PM tomorrow when we actually launch Black Friday deals for everyone. So yeah. Can confirm the coffee is delicious. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. We've actually just literally this week started shipping the coffee to the US. We've got 1 test order in progress right now, shipping to the US. So I just need to check out with the buyer on Monday, Tuesday to make sure that's arrived successfully. And if that is successful, we'll actually turn that on the website so people can order international shipped coffee as well. So if you live overseas and you want to try my coffee, it'll be available very soon overseas. But yeah, Loads of stuff happening. In terms of other stuff at PT, MT new granite has shipped from GMK. That should arrive on Monday or Tuesday, I hope. In which case, we'll get all of the group buy orders shipped out for that this week. Probably the same day the set arrives. It wasn't a huge group buy, and we'll try and put
Tasty.
if we can get it turned around, I'll try and put MT new granite in stock this week so you can get the discount on it as well. So you can get the Black Friday deal on it too. Good night, Jay. Hope you're doing well, Manu. Thank you for the 30 months of subs, dude. So yeah, so that's the plan, is to try and put granite in stock this week so you can get the discount on it as well. Basically get the Black Friday deal on something live that we're putting in stock. Our next shipment from China, basically our next container, is currently at sea. It set off just over a week ago. I had to look at the date then, I just try and work it out, but just over a week ago it set off last Saturday. I would have covered this last Sunday, but I wasn't feeling great, so I didn't stream then. But now basically what we're doing is we're waiting for a couple of things to arrive at the warehouse in China before we set the next container shipping. Now the current container should arrive just before Christmas if everything goes to plan. The worst case scenario is that it arrives between Christmas and New Year, because we always close for 2 weeks during Christmas and New Year, and I was hoping to go away this year for a couple of weeks. That's if the shipment arrives in that period, I'll have to cut my holiday short and come back to work for it, but we'll see how that goes. And then if it doesn't arrive before Christmas because of customs, port congestion, whatever else happens, whether at sea or anything like that, it'll be here very early January. The next shipment after that, we've actually, as I say, we're just waiting for a few more things. We think that's going to set off about the second week in December, so it should arrive around the second week in January or third week in January. So we're just waiting for a few final items to arrive from some suppliers before we set that next shipment in motion as well. And then for 2025, I haven't planned anything beyond there, neither of the team, so we haven't even started to look at what's going to be on the first shipment in 2025 to actually set sail. So yeah. When does the sale end, Jay? Anonymous Bike, it ends today. Like, it's literally only on whilst the stream is live. The one that is on the drop down above by Jellymaster on the chat. If you look on the chat, he's put a little pin there saying what you can get. No codes needed, but once the stream ends, they'll be turned off, and then they'll be back in play tomorrow from 6 p.m. There'll be an announcement tomorrow explaining how the Black Friday deals work for everyone. You guys are just getting exclusive access to them a little bit early, that's all. So I'll share tomorrow on Discord what the rest of the sale looks like. So yeah, take a holiday, Jesus, yeah, something like that. I want to take a little break at Christmas and spend some time with the family, because this year has been quite challenging. It's been a long year, let's put it that way. It's been a really long year, and I am ready for a break. I'm really ready for a break, and maybe a change in how I approach things as well. So we'll see. Any QK65 spares going to be available, specifically plates? We'll try and list what we can, Jim Bob. I think we have got some. I don't know if we've got a ton of stuff, but if we can, we'll try and list it in the next week or two. I'll add a note to the team on Monday and see if we can get a count of what we've got and get those listed as well. So yes, that's pretty much it in terms of PT news. We've got a few things going on at the workshop next week as well. Interestingly, DHL are coming back and trying to offer us better rates than UPS can, or better terms and conditions on our account. They're trying to get our account back, so they're going to come in on, I think, Wednesday and have a chat with me. And also, I'm not going to take them up on the offer, but no matter what it is or how cheap it is, because I don't trust the courier service, but DPD have also requested a meeting with us, which will be interesting, but I tend to use that as a number to play off against the big boys. I say, UPS, DHL, can you match this? So we'll see. The issue with DHL I have at the moment is their prices are too expensive. They're about double the UPS costs, and that's frustrating. So we'll see what they come back with. We'll see. Other things that are happening at PT Workshop this week is I should be finalising all the JO1 stuff ready for production. I have all day Tuesday set aside to do this, apart from a 3-hour slot where I have to go out for a visit and do something for a visit on site, which I can't talk about just yet, but I will talk about very soon. But it is 2025 meetup related here in the UK. So yeah. Never trust DPD. Always had issues with them. Yeah, we tried shipping with them a few years ago, and something like 10% of packages went missing, Shami. So we won't ever go to DPD, but it's useful to have their quotes to play off against the other big players. So say, hey, look, UPS, this is what DPD can do. Can you guys match it or get anywhere close? And it's usually a great way of us trying to get a better deal from UPS. DPD really that bad? Found them to be pretty good. Yeah, really bad. Yeah. This is all I know. Like, no, the thing is, right, the thing with courier services, no courier service is perfect. We've had DHL lose more packages than UPS. Like, overall, just outright lost more packages than UPS. But in general, their service was maybe 2% better. We've had UPS lose maybe 5 packets in 2 years. And that for a courier is pretty good. DPD was about 10%, so 1 in every 10 packages would get lost. Like, that is insane. With UPS, it's been like 1 in 50,000, something like that. It's like been such tiny numbers, it's insane. And I know that when that impacts you, it feels like it's a big impact to someone, but like, I have to look at it as a whole. Like, it's not something like every courier is going to lose something at some point. No courier is perfect. No courier gets everything right 100% of the time. So there's always going to be slight offsets. It's really, really difficult. It's really, really difficult. PT postage coming soon. Yeah, like, we just can't do anything like that, unfortunately. If people lived locally and wanted local delivery, I did once toy with the idea of doing it, but there's not very many people who live in Bradford who want, or West Yorkshire, who want actual delivery from PTHQ. So that was a difficult one. Any Mode 65 solder PCB hiding? No, we have no Mode 65 PCBs. Where's the cap from? Always admired the texture of it. This is from Amazon. It's an Amazon special. I bought a pack of 5 for £12 from Amazon. I got one in 5 different colours: pink, green, tan, purple, and blue. Yeah, like, they're just literally for the workshop. Outside of work, I very rarely wear a hat when I'm at the workshop, because it's full of grease and dirt and dust and grime and stuff. I just wear a hat because it's easy every day. It's easy every day. DHL seem to use Royal Mail for shipments when they reach Northern Ireland, but maybe that's just DHL Germany that does that. So DHL has 2 services. They have DHL Express, which is DHL door-to-door, always DHL. And then they have DHL e-commerce, which is basically DHL, but then with the last mile is with the local postal service, whether that be Royal Mail or USPS or whoever it is in the country you're sending it to. So there's 2 different types. Don't trust anyone other than UPS. Yeah, I mean, UPS has been good to us. It's half the price. They are actually really supportive on the back end, much more so than any other courier we've worked with. And whilst they tend to have more issues that need to be fixed, like in terms of transit stuff, like things going to lockups and things like that, they've lost fewer packages than any other courier service. So it is swings and roundabouts. Like, we're never going to find the perfect courier. We just have to find the best of the bad bunch, right? With DPD, you can save time by leaving a note asking for your order to be binned. Cuts out the middleman. Yeah, right. Courier services really depend on the region. DHL is fine where I live, but a friend of mine in a neighbouring city has so many issues with them. Yeah. Coming to the courier meetup this year? Yeah, like the Seoul one, I want to go. And it's actually just around the time of my birthday, I think. What are the dates for it again? See if I can find it.
Tasty, tasty.
Why can I not find it? I was going to go this year, and I just couldn't quite make the timing work after New Year. I can't find it. I can only find dates for the 20... Oh, is this it? I think I might have found it. Yeah, I think I found it. 21st to the 23rd of March. Right, okay, so my birthday's on the 27th, and I think... Anonymous Biker, we might be in touch because I think my wife wants to take me to Iceland for my birthday. Maybe we can do the Seoul meetup. Maybe we can. I definitely want to try and do it. Yeah. When PT did DHL, did you let people choose between the 2? No, so Captain Reed, they're 2 separate entities. So you've got DHL e-commerce and you've got DHL Express. You have a contract with one or either. You can have a contract with both, but because you'll be effectively splitting volumes across them both, your rates will be higher because the volume per contract will be lower. So you can't, like, they're 2 separate entities in effect. You get billed separately, you get invoiced separately, you pay those invoices separately, you don't pay it to one like company. It's almost two completely separate things. Geeky Ed, thank you so much for 27 months of subs, dude. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, express only. Yeah, we didn't look at DHL e-commerce because like we got DHL's ground rates down to pretty much the same as the e-commerce rates anyway for domestic UK. And at the time when we had DHL, we had the DHL contract just before Brexit took in effect. So yeah, it was a whole thing. Yeah, like it depends. It all depends on what DHL can come back with rates. I think there's a 5% chance we'll move back to DHL and a 95% chance we'll stick with UPS. But you know, I have to do these contract negotiations every year just to make sure we're getting the best deal. Honest Accountant, hey man, thank you so much for being here. How's my week been? Yeah, it's been good. Ups and downs actually. Ups and downs. It's not been a bad week though. Work's been good but quiet because we haven't had any big shipments arrive. I'm annoyed at my opticians, like severely annoyed at my opticians. So I went for an eye test 4 weeks ago, something like that. I ordered some new glasses. They told me because of the frames and the lenses that I'd ordered, it would be 3 weeks. They messaged me on Friday to say that the glasses were available, so I went to pick them up on Saturday morning. In the ice and snow that we had, I drove all the way there in the ice and snow, got there, and I tried the glasses on, and they didn't feel right. Something felt wrong with them. They just didn't sit on my face right. Like, but when I was looking at the mirror, like they looked nice and flush, like these ones do. They looked nice and straight with my brow. They fit my face. They looked nice. But they felt wrong. Something felt wrong. Anyway, they adjusted the rear of them and got them all sitting, as they said, nicely on my face, as the optician said. But they still felt wrong. So I didn't wear them home. I took them home, and then when I got home, I tried them on again. And I realized what was wrong. The whole frame here was twisted. So the distance between my brow and the corner of the glasses, at one side it was about 1 centimeter, these are about 2, so they're a little bit closer to my face than these ones. But then at the other side, they were way out here. So they were like 3 centimeters away from my face. So it was like a huge, massive difference. And the from here to here, across the frame of the glasses, there was a massive twist in them. And I do not want to fix that. Like, I don't want to start heating the glasses frames up and trying to fix that. So I now have to make another trip back to the opticians to get them fixed. Slightly frustrating.
Tasty.
Slightly frustrating. When I paid £400 for a pair of glasses, I want them to be right. So, yeah. That's that's how it is. Yeah, that was the worst thing that happened this week. Other than that, it's just been really, really like crap weather. But other than that, it's been okay. Have you ever thought about using a fulfillment warehouse? No. No salad, no sauce. I won't ever use a fulfillment warehouse because I don't trust them. I want to make sure I'm the one doing the quality control, the packing, the shipping. If I wanted to use a fulfillment warehouse, I wouldn't need my workshop. There'd be no need for it because I wouldn't hold the stock here. The stock would go straight to the fulfillment center, and the orders would go to the fulfillment center, and I'd sit at home twiddling my thumbs. I'd have nothing to do. I want to be involved in the process. I don't trust other people to do QC apart from me and my team, because that's my reputation if we start sending out product that's crap, right? So yeah, I don't trust fulfillment centers, and they're expensive. They're not cheap. They're really expensive at fulfillment centers. Like, don't get me wrong, it would be cheaper than me hiring a warehouse, renting a warehouse, paying staff, but it also means I'd have nothing for Mel or Sharon to do because so like my whole team would then like be defunct. It just feels like a bad deal to everyone. It's terrible from a customer experience because you can't contact me directly. Like, it would just become like a shadow corporation at that point. It basically becomes elevated dropshipping. There's dropshipping where everything ships from China, and that's really crap. I don't like that as a business model at all. I get that people do it. Personally, not a fan. But this is just dropshipping with extra steps. Like, you just have a fulfillment center, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. I assume that some other vendors do based off of my interactions with them. I would never feel comfortable with that. Citron Caramel, hey man, thank you so much for being here. Bads are because of me. Wait. What are bads because of you, Manu? Wait, what? What? No, the bads were nothing to do with you, did it? It was just to do with my the weather and my my opticians were the two bads this week. What Christmas plans do you have? Nothing set as yet. I just want some time away. Like, I just need a break, like a good 2-week break. Flirty 30. Thank you, Blackbrook, for 30 months of substitute. That's crazy. DPD must have shipped the frames to the optometrist. Yeah, I don't know what happened to them, but they're just... The whole frame is twisted. Like, I'm sure if you have like the jig to put them in, they can get them back into shape or whatever, or they can send them away and have them remade. Like, I'm sure it's not going to be an issue. I actually did get 2 pairs of glasses, one that were prescription sunglasses for the summer because they're cheap now. They're fine. They're like a little bit loose on the rear or whatever, but I can adjust those myself because they're just plastic. That's fine. But yeah, the metal frame glasses that I got, which are basically similar to these ones, just like the whole frame is twisted. If I did like the top-down view of them, and I'll try and show you what I did with my glasses here on this line here. So if I put my glasses there, like, you can't really see, but if I like a top-down view, like the curve is nice. Like the difference between here and there is kind of like the same, right? If I balance them like that, they're square and they're all nicely shaped and framed and stuff like that. These other ones weren't. Like they were like that, like severely different in terms of how the frame was shaped, and if you twisted it to get it to be like correct, like all of the arms would be out of the way, and like it was just a poor pair of glasses. And I didn't realize this at the opticians. I should have checked them more thoroughly while I was there, and I didn't. I should have done, but I didn't. In the snow as well, that is really annoying. Yeah, and it's like 15 miles away where I go, because I go to a small independent opticians because I feel like I want to support local businesses rather than support the big chains. So this was a small local independent one. So I feel for them, and I'm sure we'll fix it. I just need to go back. ADM, hey man, thank you so much for being here. GVB as well, thank you so much for a 4-month streak. And Dread Pirate Regan, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Melanie the Savage as well. Are any of the vendors operating that manner with dropshippers? As dropshippers, you mean, sorry, using fulfillment centers? That's a really bad way of me saying it. As fulfillment centers, yeah, some vendors do, I believe. I feel like I would. I'm a control freak, right? Not in a bad way, but I need to know that things are being done in the right way. Like, I don't have to do everything personally. I can hand that over to my team and make sure that everything's done as I want it to be. But I need to make sure that someone I trust is in control of each step, and I would not trust a fulfillment center. Sure, it'd be fine for stuff like the GMK stuff where they just whack it out and they send it, and that'd be fine. But yeah, Nerve Fiasco, still really sad about that, dude. Nerve's fine. Like, GMK is sending fixed keys. Like, it's fine. We've got it quick. We've got it early. It's fine. Had one side of my glasses digging into my nose once. Didn't realize after a couple of months there was a huge bruise on my nose. Oof, that hurts. Those vendors use fulfillment creators can't afford proper CGI. Absolutely. I can spot high vis a mile away. Yeah, it's up there. Where is it? There. It's that one there. That's high vis. This one here, if you think that's high vis, it's not. What happened with Nerve? So what happened with Nerve is one of the escape keys was not included in the base kit renders that Manu checked with GMK. So what happens when you create a set is you sell a set of renders to customers, basically. Okay, it's not a real product at that point, and you then send the renders to GMK, and they do their own internal like render for approval, which it's not really a render to show things accurately. What it is to show the keys, the rows, the color codes, and everything else. There was a key missing from that. So we're basically just having GMK make that key and send it out to us. We at PT have actually already shipped out all the group buy orders, and GMK are in progress making this fixed key. It's the alpha colored, the grey escape key with the purple text. That's all it is. Row 1 escape key. GMK making that right now, and then as soon as they've made it for all the sets, they'll ship them to me. I'll send them to all of the vendors. The vendors will continue fulfillment, and then I have a load of sets here for other vendors because I was the lead vendor, so they had to buy them through me because they weren't registered with GMK. So once their fixed kits arrive, I will send those out as well. So it's a small delay, but it's one of those things. It's good that we've actually managed to find it. And there was another keycap as well that we sold correctly. Like, it was sold as an R2 escape key in purple with grey text. Like, it was sold as that. but Manu didn't want that. He realized he made a mistake on the original sale renders and wanted that as R1. So GMK are fixing that at our cost as well. So it's just a couple of little things. So yeah. Don't the opticians usually check the fit for you when you pick them up? Yeah, because it was a Saturday, it was only the assistant that was there, and she said they were fine, and like I just took their word for it, but they weren't. I feel like they could have caught that. Yeah, I feel like they should have caught it, but it's one of those things. I'm going to go back on, they don't open on Mondays, so I'm going to go back on Tuesday, and I'm going to get it fixed. So yeah. I got an OG KFE in, and it came really damaged, missing screws. Got the screws in yesterday, built it. It sounds like crap, pretty much. Love to see it. Oh, dude, I'm sorry about that. You only just got your OG KFE build? Like, that's like a group buy from 4 years ago, right? If you didn't have the warehouse, you'd need to move the cars. Yeah, they'd just go home. They'd go home. I'd figure something out for home to keep them there. Too green to be high vis. Be curious to see what it is. Well, that one is actually one of the what's the word for them? It's the Air series by Deadline Studio, and they did a bright green keycap with a clear keycap. I can't remember what it was. Any plans on selling the Soul keyboard kit group buy? Yeah, it'll be on sale on Monday. We just couldn't get everything ready for the weekend. That's all. The details only, I think there was a couple of details missing on Friday that the designers were figuring out, so we should have it live on Monday. So yeah. Do you know if lubed switches received Nerve yet? I don't know, but any of the vendors that do receive it will be waiting for the fixed keys before they send it out. I have no idea if lubed has received it or not. GMK can't legally share information like that. I can tell them who's ordered stuff and they will invoice them. And GMK will tell me if any vendors have outstanding invoices to pay, which I can chase. But they will only do that when it hits a certain point. And I can't ask GMK for information about another company that is their client because they have like a confidentiality clause as part of all EU companies. They just won't tell me. So yeah. You picked them up in aftermarket in A stock condition. I'm sorry. Need to set up a swag key account and fumble through Google Translate. Oh yeah, dude. Like, swag keys are great to buy from, but yeah, the Seal keyboard will be up for group by Monday. I'm pretty sure the product listing is ready. We just needed a couple of bits of information, and Sharon finished at 4 p.m. On Friday, and I don't think the information was quite ready for then. So yeah, like the draft listings are here. Yeah, the draft listings are here. They're pretty much set. They'll be live on Monday at some point. I'll put up an announcement on Monday when they go live. In fact, I can probably show you a preview of the web page if you would like to see it. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you that. Here you go. This is what the web page is going to look like. So it's all here. Seal keyboard kit. And then options will be here, so you'll be able to choose. You can't see the drop downs, I know, but the silver, black, red, very Perry, brown, blue, cold grey, and pink. Plates, weights, everything else, and then the whole rest of the listings all here. So yeah, it'll be live on Monday. Not quite sure why that one's. It's e-coded, right? Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's a stepped in for those ones. Yeah, got it. Yeah, so everything will be live on Monday for that one. Don't worry about it. We will get that sorted on Monday. I don't know if the OG KFE came with it, but I have a KFE CU's USB-J is actually an included case foam sheet, really hip to sound. Yeah, I found that too. I can't remember how he sent it built to you when you bought it from me. But yeah, it's a really, really good board. Do you have any other 100% boards at a lower price? No, not at the minute. There are some on the market, but I don't like to sell stuff that I wouldn't use personally, so I haven't found anything else that I want to put on the website for 100% keyboard yet. Gemma, hey, any hoodie news? No, I'm still waiting for the company we use for the hoodies to come back to me with a finalized price. I'll give them a call tomorrow and chase, because I do want to get those into production and get them shipped out as soon as possible. So yeah, we'll see. Was a Nordic UK kit considered for Boneyard? It's a shame we had to wait until the set went live before knowing there wasn't one, since there was no IC. Quite disappointing after Carbon had one. So VRugDush, so this literally comes down to simple economics. Usually it's myself and a Blotsky, and we have to agree between us if we can buy out that set to MOQ in terms of the Nordic UK kits. And given the number of Nordic UK kits we've had to buy out quite recently to significant margins, like to significant numbers to actually get them to hit MOQ, there was no money left in the coffers to cover that at the moment. Like, we just can't do another set with it because, you know, when it comes to like Darling, we had to buy more than triple the actual sales of the MT new version of the international kit to get it bought out to MOQ. We can't do that for every set. Same for Carbon. Like, I'm pretty sure we had to buy more than sold in the group buy for Carbon to get it to MOQ, and the same for Blue Alert. And when you start to add up those costs have to come from everywhere, and we can't just guarantee every single set will have an international kit that will get to MOQ, because in the grand scheme of things, they don't really sell very well, and we tend to have them set on the shelf for a long time. Like, I've still got Alpine and Nightshade ones that have been here for years and years now, and I can only expose myself so far. Like, if we kept doing that, we'd have to get like bank loans to fund just international kits, which is not something I want to start doing. So whilst we'll do them for projects that we believe in and we believe will sell when they go in stock, we can't do it for every project, and unfortunately Boneyard is just one of those. Be mean to say, I'm loving the Pandora 60 I bought from you, Jay. It's my favourite board I own. It's my daily driver. Nice. I'm glad you like it, Shami. I'm really glad you like it. It was a great board. I was a little bit sad to sell that one, but, you know, it just hadn't been used. So, yeah. Thanks enough. Fair enough. Thanks for the explanation. Shame that the sales are that bad. Like, dude, like, people... It's a real vocal minority of people who ask... So the issue here is numbers, right? It's a real vocal minority of people that ask for two things in the keyboard hobby: Nordic UK and UK ISO. Those are the two things that I get asked for all the time. The issue is there are so many sets now on the market that unless we can get them into base price for next to nothing, they have to go as a separate kit. When they have to go as a separate kit, you need to sell a lot of them to hit MOQ. Technically, the MOQ for them is 150 or 100 sets, depending on certain things with GMK, but it's usually somewhere between 150 and 100 Nordic UK kits, let's say, for example, that we have to order, or UK ISO kits. And when we sell like less than 10, you know, in the UK, Nordic UK kits, and Oblotsky sells 15, so we've got 25 between us, and we have to buy out that other 75, say, it becomes really, really expensive to do that, because not as many people buy them. Like, I think there is enough people, there's more than 100 people in the EU that buy international kits, sure, but they don't buy every international kit because they don't buy every set, and because they don't buy every set, we have international kits hanging around for years and years and years. One of the biggest ones where I've overextended myself and I took a risk for the UK community was Evil Dolch. Evil Dolch, when it ran recently, had a UK ISO kit, and I had to buy 150 of those UK ISO kits to get GMK to make them. I agreed before we even started the group buy that I would do that. I would just buy them to MOQ no matter how many we sold. I think we sold 16, so I now have the rest to sell, and that meant that I had to buy a huge number of base kits to kind of match the UK ISO kits so I can sell them as a bundle in the future, which really overextended ourselves considering we didn't sell that many of the set overall. So it's really difficult. It's really difficult. The 40 is probably easier to sell, actually, because ISO UK is limited to just the UK. No one outside there ever buys it. Like, you'll sell like 2 worldwide ever. Nordic UK is the same. You'll get like maybe 5 sales outside of the EU for it because there's a couple of people who want every key, and that's just how they are. But that's it. 40s has a worldwide audience, so you actually tend to get better representation across all the vendors for 40s. 40s is often an easier kit to sell more of than ISO UK or Nordic UK kits are. So yeah. Always see certain Geek users banging on about 40s kitting. Well, I mean, they want what they want, right? That's how it goes. So yeah. I thought GMK had lowered the standardized Nordic UK kit, MOQ to 50. For some sets, yes. For some sets, it has been lowered to 50. I'm just giving you generalized numbers for things. But even 50 is a lot. If we only sell 15 between Oblotsky and I for a certain set, and we have to buy 50, you know, that's an extra. We have to double what we've both sold to buy the whole lot, right? That 50%. 100% investment on extras for a kit that doesn't sell well. Everyone who wanted it bought it in the group buy, so we'll just sit on those extra ones for years. I get why people want it. I like the keys too. I'm a UK ISO user. My board here has UK ISO on it, but yeah, it's a really hard sell. It's a really hard sell. Time for another British Empire and enforce UK ISO. Yeah, you start the revolution, JQ. You start the revolution. Fortis user have high IQ. The les there. Coffee chat. Yeah, this is my own coffee from my own coffee shop at jaysroastery.co.uk. And this is the fiction blend. This is the good house coffee. Like, it's a really good house coffee. That's what we developed it as. Any idea when PBS blanks will be restocked? When we get them, autonomy. I don't know. I do have my personal set here. But these are actually one of the keyboard chores we have to do today. But I don't know. It depends on when we get them. Hungry, hey man, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. It's good being part of the Ansiocracy. I have no problem with ANSI. I think it's a fine layout. At one time I could never use it, and over the years I've managed to adapt, and I can switch between an ISO board and an ANSI board quite easily now. It's fine as a layout, but there's something special about having regional options. Like, it's just nice, right? To have regional options, and I want to support that as much as I can, but it becomes a financial risk to support it too much. If I could guarantee that there'd be enough buyers for every single Nordic UK kit to make MOQ, that'd make me a really happy man. Sadly, the community's not big enough for that. PBT fans or GMKMY? GMK. It's the original Cherry profile from Cherry, the same molds that Cherry used when they developed the profile. I've been to GMK's factories. I understand how they operate. The cost per key and for the quality you get is exceptional, and we have less failures on GMK products than we do on PBT Fans products. That being said, PBT Fans products are great. Emma is fantastic. It's one of my favorite sets of the year. It's very well priced. It's just, if I was going to have to pick, I would go for GMK. There is nothing wrong with PBT Fans, and we'll continue to stock it. So yeah, I think ISO looks better, to be honest. Yeah, I agree, but you know, not everyone will agree with that. Discounts live on site now. Yeah, okay, yeah. The best part about custom keyboards is getting what you want, custom to you. Being forced to X layout or Y key set language makes the entire hobby boring. Agree. Yeah. Waiting for Gist to become mainstream. Tried it on a Real Force. I have quite a fun layout and not hard to get used to. Yeah. Just put my Emmas on my Apollo 80 today. Really lovely set. Emma is one of my favorite sets of the year. I'm surprised we still have it in stock. Like, genuinely surprised, because I thought that would sell out immediately, and it didn't. I really appreciate how Key Kobo include UK ISO in their base staple kits. So that took a lot of arguing to get them to do that, Manu. So I spent 9 months backwards and forwards with Key Kobo trying to get them to do it. They didn't see the point, because when they were looked at it, like, less than 1% of the buyers worldwide wanted it. So it took a long time to get them to agree to it. And then they still charge vendors for the ISO UK kits if it's not in the base kit automatically. So if it comes separately as a separate add-on kit, they still charge vendors for it. And I just give that away to customers for free. So yeah. Cool. Okay. Thank you for stocking the KLC EC components. Yeah, they've been doing okay. I was assured that they would sell extremely well. I'm not sure that's the case, but they are selling slowly but surely. So yeah. I think having Nuke Data at the same time as Emma is part of the reason why it's still sitting. I think they're very different sets with very different ideologies behind them. Nuclear Data is a solid colorway. Emma has a translucency to it. I mean, that's like saying, you know, two grey sets shouldn't exist at the same time. I appreciate there is massive market saturation right now, and that's why a lot of products do sit, because the market is saturated. There is more key sets available in stock right now than group buys we ran in the first 3 years, right? That's a huge, and considering the first 3 years were over COVID, that's a huge thing. But yeah, I think there's merit to having more than one choice. Yeah. Holding out for the JO2 EC conversion kit. Yeah, which I need to speak to Sipula on that. Yeah. Would you get the PCBs in? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I think we've sold about 1% of what we ordered at the minute. So, we'll see. The idea, yeah. I'm buying up the GMK model materials, but don't have a board for it to go on. It's a great set. It's a great set. You could just buy another keyboard. Right, let's crack on with some keyboard chores anyway. Let me put my coffee to one side because it is a little bit cold now. I've been talking for so long. I do have a few things to do. First of all, I have some keyboard key sets to put away. So, first of all, this is my set of PBS blanks, Penguin Belly Slide blanks. I've only used this for a little bit and then put it straight back in the box. Because we have some other sets coming soon. So this is in conjunction with Canon Keys and Key Creative. The actual sets of Penguin Belly Slide that we had in the group buys, they're currently in production, and it won't be too long as we have more Penguin Belly Slide in stock as well. It is coming. It is coming. Where's my... There it is. So yeah. Penguin Belly Slide or MT New, I think both are so different that I wouldn't want to pick either. I'd like to have both. Yeah, I think both have their merits. How do you find the PBS profile when switching from Cherry? I really like it on my Alice keyboard. So I've got a couple of TGR Alices. I've got a Police and something else. I had these on the Police, the Poly Alice, and they feel really nice on like an Alice style keyboard or a split keyboard. I much prefer a uniform key set on split boards than I do, whereas on a candy bar style keyboard like this, I prefer Cherry. So that's my kind of view of it. But that's my personal experience, so yeah. No, PBS is Penguin Belly Slide. Would it be possible to write legends on the blank PBS with the laser? No. So, not with the type of laser you could get for home anyway. Certainly the lasers that we have here couldn't do it, and we have a fiber and a carbon dioxide diode laser. Neither of those would work for it. They just completely melt the keycaps. PBT also gives off a lot of fumes when you do laser it. Ask me how I know. So I don't think it's something you'd want to laser the legends onto here. If you're going to do it, you'd do it at the factory. That's how you do it. These are really nice. Like, the texture on these is something else. Like, it's really hard to show texture on camera, but the texture is really, really nice. They're smooth, but just enough to kind of grip, so they kind of feel like a dry chalk. If you guys have ever touched Hagoromo chalk, that's kind of what they feel like, but in a really nice way. They're like chalky in a really nice way, not like a gritty, you've got chalk on your hands kind of way. Not like you've put your hands in a chalk bag, but like you touched a bit of chalk limestone or something like that. You can do DIY dice up. Yeah, you could dice up them. That's absolutely possible. Sounds like XMI Surface. It's kind of similar to the XMI Surface, yeah. I mean, it's just a way of finishing off PBT. So, yeah. So in terms of the lasering that they do isn't that's pad printing that they do, right? It's not actually laser etching, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware. I'll probably pick up some PBS when you get some in. Be wanting to try uniform profile for a while. Yeah, I mean the blank sets didn't last long at all. Like, they went out of stock really quickly. I think like we sold out with them within the day we put them live. But there is more coming. Like we've committed to more with Canon Keys. We're just waiting for it to arrive now. Yeah, I as far as I'm aware, it's not actually lasered. Or it might be laser heated to get it to apply, but I don't think it's actual laser etching that they do. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Home dice up is possible, but it's not easy. It's not easy. And you need some specialist equipment to do it, really. Not that it's expensive, but you can get the equipment for a few hundred quid. But yeah, we've looked into it in the past and thought about offering it, but there's just so many services that do it cheaper. It was never worthwhile looking at properly. There we go. So that's penguin belly slide, white Langston. All looking good. Next up, this is one that's been in trays for a while. This is Retro Dark Lights, and I've been toying with the idea of leaving this in its case because I've never actually used this set since I bought it from the site. So if you haven't seen Retro Dark Lights before, this is a PVC fence set from a while back. Not yeah, PVC fence set. Yeah, it is PVC fence. And it comes with multiple trays, so you can have some fun keys here, but it also came with a completely separate second set, so we're going to load these up as two different key sets. Have I seen the new Jaguar rebrand? I have. So the Jaguar rebrand is interesting for a number of reasons, because I don't think they know what their new target demographic is. It's certainly not middle-aged man who likes to smoke a cigar and has too much money anymore that they used to go for. That's the crowd they used to sell to. The John Prescotts, the Jeremy Clarksons of the world, that was kind of like the crowd they went for. You know, at one time they were almost in the ultra-high premium brands like Bentley and Rolls-Royce. And now they're very much not. They're kind of like in the kind of Audi, BMW kind of range. I think it's going to flop is this new rebrand for Jaguar. And I can see a world where in 6 months' time, when they start to launch their electric cars, there is a even bigger backlash against Jaguar, and they may end up failing here. They may end up failing. I do like my Retro Dark Light sets. It's on my red Neo at 65, it looks great. Yeah, I really like the set. I actually like the secondary set that came as a fixed kit more than the main set. But I've never used either of them. I've never found quite the right board to put them on, which is why I've never taken them out of these original trays. But given the fact that these trays don't sit in my wall of collection of keycaps behind me, as well as they could do, I figured it's now was a time to put them into a tub, and take them out of the trays. They're good keycaps though. They're really good keycaps. For the price, these are a bargain. I've been eyeing up used F-types, and it seems like worlds apart in terms of branding. Feels like a Chinese EV brand like BYD. I think that's what they're going for, Dynamic. I think that's what they're going for. They've looked at the market and they've seen that BYD have started to catch up to Tesla just because of the sheer number of sales that they're doing. And that's the market that Jaguar now wants to go for. Now that they're going to be 100% electric from next year with all their new models that come out from February or March, whenever it is. That's the market they're trying to go for. I get it. I understand it. I don't agree with it. I think they had a really good handle on the niche that they were part of, and I think they should have stuck with that. I genuinely think they should have stuck with it. They chose not to, and we'll see if I'm right or they're right. Okay, but it's going to be interesting times to see how that pans out. Yeah, the plan is to change to an electric only range in the price bracket of Bentley. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you. That's what they're going to do, and I think I've read that that's what they're going to do. They want to go for the young, ultra high net worth kind of clientele. I just don't think that anyone's going to particularly like the rebrand. Even the kind of market that they're aiming for, which is that kind of BYD, probably more Eastern kind of view instead of Western kind of market view. we'll see. We'll see how it pans out for them. But I can't see myself ever wanting to buy another Jaguar. Not that I've ever had one, but buy a Jaguar with the current branding. Maybe I'd look at an older F-Type, a V8 F-Type. Yeah, I could probably go for that. I wish I could say the inside knowledge I have right now. DMs are open. I like the Jaguar ad, but would never consider buying one of their cars. I mean, the thing is, they're going to have a whole new range, right, from February, March, whatever it is. So whatever you've thought of their historic cars is going to be all new anyway. So I will judge the cars on their own merit. There's nothing wrong with electric. I'm happy for the electric revolution. We'll just see how it comes out. But it feels like it's a shame to throw away a lot of that heritage. (1952) Jag XK120, my white whale. The old Jags are good. The old Jags are good. I mean, they've had some iconic cars. The E-Type, you know, the XJ220. They've had some really iconic cars over the years. These days, perhaps not so much. The F-Type is a great car though. I've driven a couple of them. I nearly bought one about 5 years ago. We actually had Jaguar visit us recently. Ooh, interesting. Do tell, anonymous biker. What were Jaguar looking for from you guys? What were they looking for? So this is the secondary base kit that you got if you bought the original base kit. And this one is actually slightly translucent on all the keys. You can see it better on the R and the Y and the G and the B there, but it is translucent on all the keys, and on the space bars you can kind of see the inner moldings. Kind of interesting. Loved the Van den Plas back in the 90s. Yeah, absolutely. Waiting for the BRG coloured F1 to come in from the group buy. Slap BRG on it and then get the F1 to take it to work. Nice. Does she work at Jaguar then? I just dropped a load of keycaps. Did I drop any more? I could have sworn I dropped more than one. I think I only dropped the one, but I'll check after stream. She works at Jaguar Land Rover. Gotcha, yeah. Sure, go down well with the oldies. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? There's no right or wrong when it comes to advertising and marketing. Like, every company's going to do their own thing, and some things will work and some things won't. We could be all completely wrong and have egg on our faces next year when Jaguar launch these new models and they do absurdly well in the markets that they're going for. But I think the whole ultra high net worth kind of Bentley and above kind of areas are pretty well saturated at the moment, and there's fewer and fewer people who are able to afford to purchase in those ranges. So I don't know. You know, it's like, here's an economic crisis. Let's target the rich. Perhaps. Who knows? Who knows? It could go down a million ways. The rebrand of the Defender was certainly successful, so I hope the new Jaguar will have the same success. So the Defender change were kind of needed though, right? The old Defender ranges weren't, you know, they've been the same for decades, and a shake-up was needed. That's those two base kits done. Time to move on to the next one to show you. Okay. Next up we have G&K rubber hose. So if you haven't seen these yet, look how cool these novelties came out. This set. So this is the base kit. The base kit was that big, didn't fit in one box, so they had to give us a box and a tray, and then the Nordic UK kit as well, which I managed to convince GMK to include the blue F-Row keys for UK, so that took some convincing, but hey, we got it sorted. It'd be interesting if we all end up buying Jaguars and dressed like the guys in ads arriving to our MK UK makeup. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Okay, let's take a look at the proper base kit here then. Using the blue UK numero keys right now. Very thankful you put it in. Nice. Yeah. It took a little bit of convincing, but we did it. I was like, if we're buying this many of them, surely you can add those 4 keys for us. But yeah, this base kit came out really, really nice. If you like beige, this is a really good set. It came out so nice. Super duper nice. I'm a huge fan. Right, let's get the labels set up for this one. Any news on the desk mat? We're just waiting for them to arrive, Rue. As soon as they arrive, we'll get the orders out for those. All of the base kits have been shipped. It's just the desk mat orders and the artisan orders that we haven't received yet. So as soon as those arrive, they'll ship out. Any news will be on the updates pages. But as soon as we get them, we'll get them shipped out the same day. Didn't already have deadbeats? Yeah, this is such a good set. Wait till I show you some of the novelties that are included in the base on the second row as well. These keys first. Reminds me of the beige I used on my primary school computers back in the early 90s. Yeah. You must be a similar age to me now. But beige is good. Beige is historic, it's correct, it's nice. It's safe, it's comfortable, and it looks so good on so many different colour keyboards. Everybody needs at least one beige set in their collection, I think. Beige is life, absolutely. Absolutely. And beige with UK ISO available, even better. And some fun novelties, even better. Yeah, look at some of the coloured keycaps that came in here. Look at this. Look at these. These came out so well. This is beige and it's colourful. All these novelties in the base kit, look. All of them in the base kit. So cool. Super duper cool. I'm so glad that we have like a time in the project where we can, a time in the hobby where we can make a project like this. Because if you went back, look at this pink. Camera, please focus. Look at that. If you go back 5 years, you couldn't have had a project like this made. Like, it just wouldn't work. And now we're lucky we're in a position to be able to get projects like this over the line. It's so cool. Fun designs, but I would like them best with light instead of dark legends. I think if you had like a white legend on some of these colours, you wouldn't really be able to see them. So I think it had to be black. I want to just get a beige set, Heine beige or rubber hose, but the missus took one look at the pictures and said, absolutely not. Show her the pink novelties. The pink novelties, right? Stores, thank you so much for 43 months of subs. I thoroughly appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much for that. Right, so this is the base kit tub, and we've still got more keys to put in the base kit, and the tub's already full. Because we've still got all of the F-Row keys to go in here as well. So let's see if we can get these to fit. so many keys. Yeah. I mean, that was reflected in the price though, right? Like, we couldn't do this for every project because we have to guarantee that the project, to make this as cheap as it is, we had to buy an absolute ton of the key set. Otherwise the price would have just been so exorbitant no one would have bought it. So it was really expensive from the vendor side perspective as well. There wasn't huge margins on this despite the price and the cost. I think we might just make this work, you know, I think. Colourful Accents is really tempting me. It is such a comprehensive set. If you want to try GMK, this is a sort of set to get because it covers every layout for every board, or nearly every layout for every board. There is so much that you can do with this set and so many different keyboards you can put it on. It's kind of obscene. Right, let's see if we can get this to fasten now. Oh, just. So we've got the rubber hose base kit. But then we've got the international kit, so let's create a label for that. Where did I put the label maker? It's hiding. It would look great on a blackboard, yeah. Did it sell better because of the offer of a TGR as an incentive? I think so, yeah. I'm not going to lie, I think that significantly helped the popularity of the set, but it was a way to make sure that such a cool project could get made, right? Like, for exceptional projects, you have to use exceptional circumstances, and sometimes to get things over the line, you have to do things a little bit differently, and that was the call for this set, to have it tied to some other products that would generate a differential, right? Provide something different for the hobby. But it would look great on a blackboard, yeah. Do you have you had to use the QR codes on the GMK trays for replacements yet? Only for one set, I think. But that's what they're there for. It's so that GMK can track. So every single barcode is unique, and GMK takes a picture of every set before it leaves, so that then if I report that Mr. John Smith has an issue with his GMK Norder UK set, they will say, okay, well, what's Mr. John Smith's Norder UK reference number and code, take a picture of that, send it back to us, and we now keep a record of that as well, what we've sent to people, so we know that we've sent that reference number to Mr. John Smith. GMK will go and dig out the copy of their photograph of the key set, and if he's saying he got two of the same key or a missing key or something, we can check that against the original reference photo. One of the things that we have seen across some vendors is that we will have a customer say, I have X key missing, and then the same picture will be used at another vendor to say that they have that same key missing, even when they don't, or it'd be damaged or whatever else. And I think it's a way of people just trying to get a couple of extra keys, but it also means that GMK can track everything from a quality control perspective right down back to the original packaging of each key set. So yeah. I think that the time where it happened the most was when we were seeing the Twisted Stems, and we had 3 different customers send us the same photographs for Twisted Stems, like the actual same photographs for Twisted Stems, even though their set wasn't affected. So I think it was like I think it's like just people trying it on to get something free out of companies and stuff, like, oh, if everyone else is getting something free, I want something free. Ogami, hey man, thanks very much for being here. People trying to get an extra B for Alice, maybe. Yeah, or yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just sometimes people think that, oh, the set price is so high that I'm gonna create extra work for the vendor to feel like I've got value for money, right? I think that's the other side of it. So there we go, base and Norder UK sets. Okay, next up is GMK Nerve, and the camera is going to struggle to show you how bright these keys are. This came out so good. GMK Nerve came out so good. Yeah, or lost the key lumency. People do lose keys when they open them, like they drop on the floor or whatever. It bounces on the furniture, and then they assume they've lost it. Sorry, that it wasn't provided. But Nerve came out so well. I can't wait until we can get extras up for this because this came out so good. This yellow,
tasty,
is just phenomenal. And it's different from the high vis yellow. I think I've got the high vis yellow here actually. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sure I've got the high vis yellow. Do I could have sworn I had the high vis yellow here. I do. In my other tray. So this is Nerve. And this is high vis. I hope the camera can pick up the difference between these two colors because they are different in real life. Can you see that this one's got more of a greenish hue to it? I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Let's try the face cam. No, that's even worse. They just look the same, but I guarantee you in real life, these actually look very, very different. There's like a much more greenish tinge to the high vis cap compared to the Nerve. The Nerve is much more yellow. The camera is really struggling to pick that up. It's like a greenish undertone, yeah. Like if I put a shadow on it, that might help. That's probably a bit more of an accurate reflection. It's really still not great. It's so difficult to show you, but the yellows are very different in real life. Like, it's really noticeable when you have the full set on a board anyway. It's hard to show you on camera, but yeah. It's come out really cool. The whole set's really cool. And my favorite keys are these ones. So I want you to have a look at this. And it just looks like meaningless text, right? Until I do this. Wait, this. Can you see that? Can you see that? So when you cut that graphic in half, it actually says Nerve. And it does it on the bottom as well. Upside down. Can you see that? Is that clear? It's really hard to show you. Nerve. It's a really cool little thing. Corporate is asking you to tell the difference. Yeah, I promise you there is. Like, there is a difference. It's just really hard to see. You can kind of see it here on the black. There's a slight more greenish tinge to it. I don't know if that's just a plastic thing or if it was intended to be the same color or what, but there is a slight difference in color anyway. At least on the set I have here. Okay, let's put the novelties in here, and then I'll show you the base kit in a second. So there was two base kits for this. There was the highlighter base kit, which had yellow mods, and then there was the Asira base kit, which had grey mods. I went for the Asira base kit, so I'll show you what it looks like now. This is the Asira base kit, and I'll show you the two keys that are getting fixed. Well, I'll show you one of the keys that's getting fixed and explain what the other key is. The purple's a great color, yeah. So on the set here, you have so this escape had a grey legend for the highlighter set.
Incredible.
And this one, it was the opposite way around. This is less of a bright set, but there is an escape key for row 1 in this colorway missing, the beige with the purple. So that's going to be replaced as part of the fix key. And then on the second tray, you'll see that there's some purple keycaps. Now this is as was sold in the group buy. Every single render shows this. Every single render shows this as a row 2 escape, and it is a row 2 escape, but that wasn't the designer's original intention. They wanted it as an R1. They just made the mistake all the way through production, so we're paying to have that replaced as well. So there'll be 2 keys that get sent out to everybody. Which will be the escape key here and the R1 escape key that is missing. So yeah, if you bought the set already from us and you've had it shipped, you'll get those keys as soon as they arrive. If you bought if you haven't bought the set from us yet or you're waiting for it, you'll get all of the stuff as soon as those arrive as well. You still need to get the best match sorted too. like Night Runner, but obviously more extreme. Yeah, like Night Runner is very different as well. Such a silly oversight, but good things being fixed. Yeah, I mean, the one that was missed was, you know, that was on Manu and myself. We both missed it in the production renders from GMK. The other one, I just assumed it was correct all the way through, because it was originally supposed to be an R2 escape key, and it was only when the designers had a look around and like, actually, we should have had that as an R1 key. Let's do the right thing for customers and make sure we get an R1 key for it. So that's a case of fixing designer vision rather than fixing something that is actually an error, which sometimes can be just as important as fixing errors. There we go. Right, let's create some labels for this set. My fingers keep sticking to these greasy Cyber MT3 kits, which leads me to a question. What's the best message for cleaning ABS keycaps to get rid of that greasy, sticky feeling? Oh, and the Cam Soup users look great on my corn. Cam Soup user is a great set. So well done on picking that up. The best way to clean keycaps is probably to use denture tabs. So for what older people tend to use to clean their false teeth, use denture tabs and hot soapy water. That works great. And just leave them to soak for a little bit. Not stupid hot, not boiling hot, but like, you know, as hot as you can put your hand in is fine. Yeah, but that should help you clean up the keycaps. If you go too hot, or if you use something that's too abrasive, or if you use something that's got too acidic or too base, you will just melt ABS. So if you use anything like acetone, you'll just melt ABS plastic and it'll make it even worse. It'll make it so it never feels nice to touch again. And at that point, you're better off just chucking them away and starting again. So yeah, so denture tabs and hot soapy water are probably the two best ways to clean keycaps. There we go. Okay, last up, the last one I have to put away as a chore today before we start looking at some keyboards. This is something a little bit new. So this is Creative's KAP key set. I want to show you this before I show you the set. So it's really going to be really hard to read to you, but there's a load of text on here that says KAP Legend System, designed with the invaluable expertise and insights of the mechanical keyboard community. Special thanks and love to, and then all of these really cool creators, from Max Voltar to Anti to Akuko Labs to No Pun Intended and everyone else. Loads of people have gone into helping make these, and these are the new double shot keycaps from Creative. So this is one of the first colorways they've done. We got sent this as a sample just the other day. These are pretty clean. In fact, they're not just pretty clean, they're really clean. And every key is double shot. Yeah. Even the space bars, these are really interesting space bars, because you look at this, come on camera, please focus, and it looks just like a space bar, but then you catch the glint on the edge that shows that this is actually a double shot space bar. There's some dirt on the end, so that's from the injection molding system, that's where the sprue marks are, but these are pretty cool. There are some things I don't like about the legends on these personally, just from a personal perspective. But like the actual double shot process is phenomenal. The main font is really good. There's a couple of things I personally don't like, but I'm sure the community will. Like the shape of the arrow for the enter, I'm not a huge fan of. The arrow keys as well, I feel like these arrows are a little bit too small, bearing in mind the rest of the design language. but that's just my personal feelings. But I'm really, really, really excited about these. These have come out looking really, really great. They look fantastic. There's a lot of keycaps in the compatibility as well, including UK ISO look. The double shotting is impressively clean, like really clean, like it is impossibly clean. Come on camera, please, focus. Look how clean these are from a double shotting perspective. These are super duper clean. Can you compare the UK ISO legends with the rest of the numero? Sure, yeah. There you go. So you'll see that the apostrophe is centered. This is a whole new kind of these are all new fonts, all new legends. It was all created for the cap system for Creative by Powaz and all of the other people labeled on it as well. So this is very new. If I don't have that particular set to share it with, but I can show you against. Let me see if I can find the same key here in translucent color. Something that's easy to show you. Okay, so this is probably the closest I can show you. So this is the R from Retro Dark Lights on PBT Fans. Retro Dark Lights, this is the closest in colorway combination I've got. You can see that it's got some double shotting in there. You can see the double shotting that shows through the keycap. The legends are nice and crisp, and you can kind of see the process through the sides to just a little bit. When I compare it to this R, you'll see that the double shotting is cleaner on the Creative. It's very different in terms of how the molds work internally to mold the two together. The legends are obviously very different as well. But you can see from the underside here that the actual double shotting is a little bit cleaner as well. The actual molds for the keycaps seem to be a little bit cleaner too. Now, one thing that I've wondered, and I don't know if this is true, I think that these might have been an early test mold for Creative. I don't know if PBT Fans made them with Creative or if PBT Fans made them themselves. I always was told that it was PBT Fans on their own. But there is a lot of stylistic choices in how they've chosen to double shot these, such as the sides here. That I wonder if they were an early shot. So you try. So you can see there's a little tiny line there and there. Those match up almost identically, but the double shotting on the top doesn't. So you can see here there's like almost like a round circle, and here it's not. It's just two rows. So it's something that I want to have a chat with people about, but I'll be interested to see. But these are really, really clean from a double shot perspective. They've come out absolutely lovely. I'm excited by them, and I'm going to try and produce a couple of keycaps that's with them because I'm so excited about these. I think they have a real opportunity to land well with the consumers in the hobby if the pricing is right. So yeah, just going to see if I've got any response back from Creative yet on this, because I've asked them a few questions, so let me have a look. No, just the original one. Anyway, so this is called Cap Generation. Klein Blue changed from R1 to R2. Yeah, a lot of things did. I don't know if it is, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was some crossover. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there was some crossover. But I'm pretty happy with the cap sets. I think they're going to be absolute bangers for value in terms of stuff going forwards. I think if people are interested in alternative manufacturers, Cap is the one to keep your eye on right now, I think. let's try and get these keycaps in. Is the lid loose when you put it on? Yeah, so it does say that this is temporary packaging on it. I can't remember where it said that, but it did say it was temporary packaging and it's going to be changed. So the lid is loose on these, but I think it will be actually fastened on them later on. On the actual packaging, we've got this in because obviously this has been on a few test boards and stuff this week. I think it did say that the packaging is temporary and still a work in progress. But overall, I'm blown away by these keycaps. If these are at the price that they tell me they're going to be retail, I'm going to be incredibly impressed. Like, incredibly impressed. Love the kitting on this. It's a huge kit. It's a huge kit. I need to, as I say, I have a ton of questions for them. I'm waiting for answers on as well about kitting and stuff like that we want to do. So, yeah. Hopefully I'll have some good news on that front soon. The other thing I do have good news on is the JOG keycap set that we've been working on for a little while. Those are finally ready to ship to us. So we should have them in about 10 days time. And I'm hoping to get some of the Inside Circle Ko-fi members a set before they go in stock. So if you are a Ko-fi member and you subscribe to the highest tier, you might be getting a free set of the JOG keycaps in exchange for some feedback. That's all we'll need from you, just a little bit of feedback. So watch out for an email if you want those. Nothing I can share just yet. Anonymous Piker for the price point on these. No. I'm not sure if we'll be selling this particular set or if we're just going to work with them on future projects. I don't know yet. But I'm really happy with these keycaps. I think they look fantastic. I think they feel great. They're smoother than Jim K. They do feel very similar to PBT fans in terms of like the external texture. So we'll see how it goes. But as soon as I have anything concrete to share, I will do. Yeah, I haven't been given an MSRP at the minute, so like the cost that I have seen is only the cost price, the wholesale price. And I have some questions on that, so yeah. We'll see. But yeah, cap generation. Okay. So that's it for the keyboard chores. But it is now time to open up the keyboard. Oh no, I missed the keycap. Let's put that in the tub. So I haven't opened this since it arrived, but this is my Matrix Vidya. I got this sent from Albert directly. I don't think this is a retail unit. I think this is a return or something, but we'll see. What does that mean, Zora? I do not read legends like that. I don't know if that's. I assume that's Chinese. Here we go. Just UK. Ah, okay. Why did I call it the Vidya? It's the Hiya. Why did I call it the Vidya? I don't know why I called it that. Hiya. Here we go. Still sealed. Yeah. I was getting the Vidya is the new QC board. It's the Hiya. Yeah. I don't know why I called it that. Let me change the title on the stream. I think I was probably reading something from James earlier on, and that's why it stuck in my head. Cool. Stream information updated. Yeah. Matrix Hiya.
Tasty.
Vidya is a C keyboard. Yeah, I was just getting confused with the two. I think I was speaking to James about something earlier on. Thank you so much for Hodgie for the Ko-fi subscription. I thoroughly appreciate that. Ugh. Wait, where's my phone going nuts? Apologies. Just wanted to make sure there's nothing important or urgent that I needed to do. Let's have a look and see how good this is. All those goodnessy goodness on the stabilizers. I'm always interested to try new stabilizers. I do like it when they come kitted like this. We've got some extra parts here and here. Little gaskets and things. We've got a ton of feet and screws here. All sorts of nice, lovely things. Here we have the hot swap PCB. We also have foams. And we also have a plate. Let's see how far we get in the build today. It's 9:30 already. I've been streaming 90 minutes and we haven't even looked at the board yet. I'm going to leave this one out because we'll use the stabilizers because this is what came with the board. So we'll just leave this tray out. That's one side. Make a mess. Why not? Then here we have the box. This looks so good. If you can't tell, if the light doesn't pick it up, this box is actually sparkly. Kind of maybe picks it up a little bit on the camera there. But it's really, really sparkly in real life. It's lovely. Really nice. Solid box. User manual and QC certificate. And here's the keyboard. In true Matrix style. Yeah, the sparkles are really cool. Sparkles are always nice. It is pretty hefty for the size. And it's got some really cool details on it. I haven't even had a chance to open this since it arrived. So you're seeing it with me for the first time. So it has this super cool Hiya badge in the bottom corner. All really nice and neatly laid out on the inside. Great side profile. Great back edge. Look at the design quality of this back edge. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. Feels very retro games console-y. And then the base. Super, super nice. I do like how Matrix produce their boards. I'm a big, big fan. You want me to put nerve on this? Let's catch up with chat. Is it hiya, or then like the noise is just hiya as in hello? I don't know. I just like to say hiya because like I feel that's how it's supposed to be pronounced, but I'm not sure. Love the sparkles, yeah. Proper HHKB spacing. Yes, it's correct HHKB on the bottom here. A lot of HHKB boards aren't really. They just have two 1.5U blockers here, but this is correct for HHKB, so it's kind of shifted to this direction. That blocker is bigger than that blocker. Looks so great. Really regret not going for it, but glad to see that aftermarket prices aren't crazy. Yeah. Magic 3 60 head accents in the same places. Yeah, very similar. Matrix Thames Yorkshire, A up pal 60. Yeah. A up. With the matching numpad, nah then. Maybe just like nah then. That's a really stupid idea. But yeah, super, super cool. Super lovely board. Let's take this apart and have a look inside. There really is no other company that's producing anything quite like Matrix at the minute. Their stuff is so different to anything else that's on the market. It's really cool to see. Okay, I think that should be the two taken apart. Yeah. Just gonna move this piece of foam. We'll come back to that later. There we go. Then on the inside, little daughter board here for the badge on the outside, which looks nice and neat and hidden away. Lots of nice machining there. Very simple top. Nice, lovely side profile. I do love it when you have these design hips on here, where you can see here's like a difference in angle. I'm a big fan of that, and this is on the rear as well, so you can see it's got that little hip there as well. I do really like design features like that. Of course, then we've got the anti-static barrier, and then here's the internals for the base, daughterboard and JST. Super duper cool. Matrix Anno colors are legendary. Faye has some cool photos of her collection. Yeah, Faye's got some really cool boards. At one time I might have been able to give her a run for the number of Matrix boards I owned, but those days are sadly behind me now. Yeah, it's a cool board. Let's pop that to one side while we take a look at the assembly. So, in terms of plate, we have an alu plate, which is good. Sparkly. Sparkles! Yeah, sparkles, good. Here's the plate. Aluminium. Fits the layout perfectly. Super smooth. Nice details chamfered in. You can see where the these were hung to anodize them. There's a tiny little mark on the circle there, which means it's not quite it looks like it's not quite round. It is, it's just where the anodization hook was. Really nice. Foams as well. We may as well foam this up, why not? Go with all the foams today. And here's a PCB, lovely blue-grey colour. Hot swap. ANSI only as its HHKB layout, so it's HHKB really, not really ANSI. Two connectors, one for the front badge, one for the daughterboard. Okay, let's get some stabilizers done. So I was going to use the new Type Plus stabilizers, but everything we need is here, so let's just use the stabilizers that come with this. So how many stabilizers do we need? 1, 2, we'll split shift I think, because that's going to be better for me on this layout. So we need 1, 2, 3, and then 4 here, so we don't need that one. So we need 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can leave one of them behind. I assume this is only a 7U wire, because it only supports 7U. That looks like 6.25. That is 6.25, or 6. Might even be 6U. I need 3 of these. And then all but 2 of these. Okay, let's grab some lubricant. Let's get these assembled. And if you guys have got any questions for me, now's a good time to ask. If there's anything you've ever wanted to know about being a vendor, being in the keyboard hobby for a decade or more, what's going on at PT, anything that's coming up that I might be excited about, ask away. try and be as much of an open book for you as I can. It's one of the exact questions I said. Yeah, so I'm actually really excited to put the Seal Group Buy launch up on Monday. I feel like it's about time we had more full-size keyboards in the hobby in terms of high-end customs. So I'm really excited about that because the manufacturer is really, really good. The design's really good, and I think it's going to do really well. I'm also excited for an upcoming project with Clacky Keeps. You may have seen if you're part of the SPC that I might have been doing some scouting recently. There's a couple of key sets that are coming that I can't talk about yet that I'm really excited for as well. One of the big ones actually I am really excited for is GMK Hippo, the Mudeng inspired keycap set. That is just so good. So I'm working with Beasley on bringing that to the UK. I'm really excited for that one. I was bummed out that I missed the Tea House 100%, so the Seal is a perfect option. Yeah. I mean, Matrix themselves did a couple of 100%s back in the day. I've got a Matrix Able, which was 100% layout. Back in 2016, 2015. It was one of the earlier boards. Which set of board were you really looking forward to personally but failed to meet the MOQ and was cancelled? I can't think of any particular keyboard where that was the case. That I was going to purchase personally, it didn't happen. I think the most recent one that I'm really upset about is the whole MKC stuff. We'll be putting out an update this week on MKC from our perspective. That's been really frustrating all around. So, but I don't have anything that didn't meet MOQ that I can think of. Key set was probably, and this is going to sound stupid, it was probably GMK Pooped in the Pool. I really think that should have made MOQ back in 2021 or whatever it was. So yeah. I think that was really cool. As like a concept. I think the key set itself was probably not the best, but like as a concept and a meme and just trying to get stuff made, I think that was probably one of my favorite kind of things. It was just really fun interacting with the community about it as well. Thoughts on the QK100? The QK100 is a really good board. I think we'll have another pre-order for it pretty soon. I just need to check on the details of that with Sharon in a day or two. We actually use a QK100 as the main office board downstairs in the workshop. We have a yellow one with GMK panels on it. So yeah, the QK100 is like a solid daily driver for us. Both Mel and I use it constantly. GMK Hippo is so hot. It is. It's a really cool set. It's like perfect. It's one of those few sets that will transcend the hobby. I think it will become as popular in time as Dolch or something like that. I think like it to me it's going to be one of those iconic sets in 5 years time. When you look back on the hobby, you're going to think GMK Hippo. Yeah, pink and grey. Yeah. I absolutely swear by that. I genuinely do. Did you happen to see Ryan Norbauer's talk on trying to design the perfect stabilizer? I did, yes. I did. I think he went about it in a very different way to how I'd have gone about it. I think there's an idea within compliant mechanisms to do it. And I'm hoping to be able to spend some time on that at some point, because I think compliant mechanisms are the way forward for a lot of keyboard components. But the solution he ended up at is incredibly interesting from an engineering perspective. and I really want to test them out. In fact, maybe I'll reach out to Ryan and see if we can arrange for me to be able to test them out or something, because I've got a lot of time for Ryan. He's a really nice guy, and he's done a lot for the hobby over the years. So wish DCS Sport Walker had a pooped in the pool kit. Yeah, Sport Walker is another one of those sets that's really cool. It's got such a good idea behind it, and Fredericton's really nice. And I actually did spend over an hour on the phone to Will at Signature Plastics the other day, just about how his takeover's going, about how to structure things, about things I'd like to see from Signature Plastics going forwards that just might make them a little bit more modern. We talked about things like packaging and stuff like that as well. So whilst I can't share any details of the conversation, it was really positive, and I'm pretty excited now that Will's team are taking over. I was quite reticent at first because I've seen a lot of venture capitalist firms take over companies in the past, and it's always been about maximizing profits and quickly at speed, and I didn't kind of get that vibe from them on this one. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a real positive change for Signature Plastics as well. Call me skeptical and no bow stabs. Yeah, I want to reserve judgment until I tried them. I think it's really interesting on how they achieved that vertical alignment, but through using so many different parts and so many different brackets. There must be a simpler solution, and I'm pretty sure it's compliant mechanisms. But just the way that Ryan Norbauer's mind works is just generally interesting anyway. He's a very interesting guy. Someone I wish I'd spent more time with in the hobby, to be honest. Call me skeptical on the no bar stabs going from 5. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. I think I'll be interested to see how the no bar stabs come out. I want to try them, definitely. Jellymaster says, with the release of past sets, i.e. Boneyard, Darling, British Racing Green, is this a trend you expect to see continue more into 2025? Do you see this as having a negative impact on new designs and colorways in the future? It's an interesting set of questions. Being quite blunt, I don't know. I think right now there is too much choice in the market. I think there are too many sets available out there to people right now, and that stunts choice. Like having too much choice, that stunts purchasing. And this is a consumer-based hobby, right? It's designed for people to be able to buy stuff. Okay, that's just a fundamental of how the hobby is set up. Like people need to buy stuff to keep new stuff and new ideas being created. I think that the hobby's in a position now where this transition to in stock will see it'll see a drop in creativity, I think, to an extent, because vendors will come to a point where they have so much stuff in stock that they can't shift everything, and that will limit their investment opportunities, and they will be significantly more picky about what they choose to go in stock. They'll only pick stuff that feels safe, because that's how business works, right? The business has to keep going and making money, otherwise it can't do new things and can't invest in new products and processes. So I think there'll be a change and a phase shift towards that. I think that what you've noticed here with the key sets is the first step towards that kind of view. Safe key sets running in group buy that we know the community wants, we know the community loves, and that are pretty safe in terms of meeting MOQ. I think the other thing is there'll be some vendors trying to do some stuff for in stock that they wouldn't have tried a few years ago, such as Gymcation, Seiki, and Mars Cadet and stuff, which have been popular. And if we can continue to see those do well, we'll do more of them. But I do think it's a dangerous time for the hobby right now. I think it's a time when that transition between the PT took maybe 2 years ago, between running majority group buys to having majority in stock, is going to challenge a lot of vendors. There's going to be a lot of companies struggle to make that transition and struggle to make it in the correct ways. And I think for the most part, we've already made that transition. Like, it's like the biggest part of our business now is in stock rather than group buys. And that was something I actively faced into a couple of years ago. I wrote a blog post on it. 2023, I think we made that choice. So yeah, so I think that you're seeing the first startings of how they do that as a whole. Of course, PT is part of that as well. I think how decisions are made will vastly change. And I think some vendors are going to take risks that don't pay off and sees them fall. Other vendors are going to take risks that do pay off and you'll see them grow. So we'll see how the market pans out. I think it's going to be really interesting. Please, more re-releases. Windbreaker. Windbreaker, I've asked if we can bring it back as GMK. I know Puade is looking at it. I don't know if he's got any further on it, but I will chase him again. I'd love to do Windbreaker in GMK. Maybe it's actually not a bad alternative to do it in the new cap profile. Actually, maybe that's something we could explore. It could look quite fun in the cap profile. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Windbreaker is definitely something I'd like to see come back. Have you had any news on InfiniKey? Haven't seen many, if anything, news from case of just designers not using them. So, InfiniKey was a brand owned by TKC in part. The actual factory wasn't owned by InfiniKey. It was a factory that InfiniKey rented out. The factory that makes the keycaps is still making keycaps. You just see them as different brands. They are definitely still out there. We haven't used them for a project for a long time. But the company still exists. I know the company still exists. I think InfiniKey itself was a brand that was 50% owned by TKC and 50% owned by the factory that makes the keycaps, actually. I think if I remember correctly, that was how it was split out. As someone who's doing their first build soon and currently stuck on which plate to get, do you have some recommendations? Yeah, plate depends on what you want from a keyboard. So your plate should be judged on two things. The feel of the keyboard that you want. Do you want something that's got a softer typing experience or something that's got a more firm typing experience? And then the sound profile you want your keyboard to have. Do you want it to be clacky? Do you want it to be thocky? It all depends. And your choice of plate will influence that. So you can go for a softer plate, which will give a more creamy sound and give a softer typing experience, such as PC or POM. Or you can go something that's kind of really firm and clacky, like aluminium or carbon fiber. It really depends on what you want from a keyboard. Plate material is very, very subjective, and there's no right or wrong answers to it. Excuse me. People won't be taking as many risks. Yeah, absolutely. No more wild layouts, Sag. Yeah, I mean, like, the Flakkit XL is a really good example of wild layouts, and it's not doing as well as I'd hoped for, certainly for us here. I don't know what the worldwide figures look like, but it could be better. It could be better, from a PT perspective anyway. So, yeah, I think we'll see a lot of stuff like that that just doesn't always make sense. And that is going to limit, people making design decisions and stuff like that. So, I just need to put this here. Should have realised that I needed to put this PE sheet down first, because one of the parts needs to tuck under a PCB, under a stabilizer, and I haven't done it. There we go. So this part here can't tuck it underneath the stabilizer, so we're going to just have to trim this very neatly in a couple of places. Just like so. And then we can tuck that up. There we go. Nice. Okay, that's looking good. All sitting nicely. Then we can pop the foam on. and now we should have some standoffs and some screws that we can use. Let's catch up with chat for a minute before I do this bit. Full backspace on true HHKB. Yeah, I like full backspace, so it's a personal choice. SMRT is good. Yeah, DCS Smart is a really good set. Get it picked up where you can. Looking at the Placket XL, and I saw that you are as well, Jay. What kind of build are you planning now that the PC plate is hopefully fixed and not so flex that impacts the case? Both plate materials seem like good choices. Yeah, I haven't planned a build for it. I'm just going to buy, I don't know, I'll just buy part of it at the end and at the group buy and see what's what. But yeah, I think the board just itself is really cool. Maybe that was a sign for a foamless build. Maybe. I don't really know what classes are soft, as I'm using an old ducky at the minute. I have no idea which category that would fall under. I'm not sure that. I know for sure that I'm not a fan of clacky though. Would prefer a deeper sound profile. I think you probably need to have a look at getting different plates. If you're getting something that's got like there's like a hot swap board, get multiple plates and just try them out. That's the best thing you can do, because you can rebuild it in half an hour, 20 minutes once you've got the first builds going. You can just change the switches and the plate quite quickly. So I would definitely try and look at doing that if you can. That's not always an option for everyone. I understand and appreciate that, and it does mean slight extra costs. So definitely your mileage may vary, but it's something that you can look at. So I'm just going to try and put these screws in from the other side. These are the standoffs. In fact, actually, let's get rid of this foam. So these are the standoffs that hold the two plates together, the plate and the PCB together. I'm just going to line these up and screw them in place. So what we're doing here is just picking up the screws, popping them into the holes on the PCB, lining up the standoff on the far side, and then screwing it together, which is not always the easiest thing to do. It'd be easy to hold the screw in place actually and just tighten in that way. Whoops. Perhaps not. Perhaps not. Come on, you can do it. You've done this a million times, Jay. There we go. That's 2 installed. This will be 3. How did the Constance group buy do? That was a very well designed TKL. I think it made MOQ, but it, like most things, it was a close run thing. These days, MOQ is not guaranteed for any project really. So I couldn't say how it had done from a worldwide perspective again. I don't always review every number, but I know from our perspective that we expected to sell more than we did. So yeah, even stuff like the Neo 8 Mark II isn't selling as huge numbers as we'd expected. I think we sold maybe 60% of what we expected to sell. So yeah, it just depends on the group buy and who's interested on the particular day as well, or the time it runs. Christmas time is always kind of like, as we build up towards like Thanksgiving in the US and Christmas here in the UK and the US and other Western countries, sales tend to drop because more people like people aren't going to buy other people group buys or in-stock keyboard products for Christmas. You know, no one's going to buy, you know, someone £150 to £300 keyboard for Christmas, or very few people are. So we tend to see that these are the two quietest months of the year, November and December. So it's an interesting time when we try and run a group buy at the moment to see if it'll actually make MOQ or not. And then we've got stuff that just has issues, like the Float 65 group buy. I think that's not gone so well because of Space Cables in the US are about to go bankrupt or have gone bankrupt. I'm not sure which at this moment in time. And that's kind of impacting all the vendors because we're now having to look at whether we can actually make the project viable or not. And I suspect the outcome tomorrow is going to be that that group buy is going to get cancelled, sadly, and we're going to have to refund everybody, which is just frustrating. And the more that happens, the more it puts the rest of the keyboard hobby in jeopardy. So, yeah. So many TKLs this year. There's always a lot of TKLs. That would probably be an option to begin with. More than likely, two options that caught my eye are POM and FR4, which I guess is classed as soft. FR4 is going to be really clacky. It's going to be really clacky because it's got a high resin content, so it's a very loud play. My Ducky has no flex also. Imagine that would come under pretty hard. This thing would snap before it bent. Yeah. Steel plates aren't... Yeah, it will have a steel plate or an aluminium plate, and it's going to feel very firm. Constants interest me. I just don't have the budget right now. That's understandable. It's difficult to buy things at the minute. You know, there's so many people struggling with you know, paying rent and mortgages and everything else that buying a £500 keyboard isn't a priority right now. I understand it. I get it. It's just the way of the world right now. So hopefully things will change as we move into the new year. The better the keyboard market is, the better for everyone, because it means we can offer more products at lower prices and we can take more risks because we know that other things are going to sell instead. So yeah, the health of the keyboard market is key. How big of a difference is POM versus steel in that regard? Oh, dude, like, do I have a POM plate to hand? I might have a POM plate to hand to show you. Okay, I don't have one to hand. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I do.
Incredible.
Okay, so kind of I have a POM plate to show you. I don't have one that's not soldered into a board, but this is a POM plate and it's already in the PCB, so I can't really show you how flexible it is. But I promise you, like, if I do this here, you'll see it's really, really soft and really, really flexible because it's like popped off that switch. It's really soft and flexible. This is a steel plate for an old project. There is no give in that at all. It's really rigid. If I bend that, it's going to bend it out of shape. This is carbon fiber. This is somewhat more flexible, but this is nowhere near as flexible as POM is. Like, POM I could probably get to like here before it would even think about snapping or breaking. I just don't have any POM to hand to show you. I'm not sure what I've done with it, but yeah, like, plate materials make a massive difference. Massive difference. Ruth says, in which part of the year have you observed more activity in the keyboard market? Spring, I would say, is probably the most active period that we've noticed. Almost every year, like, spring has a little bump in it. So yeah. like probably February through to April. Do you see January pick up when people come back from Christmas holidays and have had Christmas money to spend? Yes and no. Like it starts to go up through January, but we always see like bumps at the end of the month because in the UK people tend to get paid at the end of the month, so end of the month always has a bump. So I don't know for certain, but yeah, like it tends to drop down at the end of the year. It's like a shallow bit, and it comes back up, and then spring is higher. So yeah. Do you think there's an issue with saturation of the market at the moment? 100%. So this is key. There's too many vendors. There's too many products, and people don't know what to spend their money on. They have too much choice. Have you ever gone into a restaurant and they've had like 5 things on the menu and you've said, oh, well, there's not enough here. I don't really, I can't find anything I want. That's bad. If you go into a restaurant though and you have the opposite problem, like there's a million things and you're like, I don't even know what I want here. I have no idea what I want because there's so much choice. That's also bad. And that's where the keyboard market is heading at the moment. There's too many vendors, and a lot of them are struggling right now. I think you're going to see a lot more vendors go in during the next couple of years. There's too much product, and there's too much releasing too quickly, because there is more product being released than there is market for, and that's why a lot of stock is sitting stagnant on shelves. A lot of vendors are not selling. So this is why vendors have to be more careful on what they're purchasing, right? It's an interesting challenge to have, and it's one that I relish because it's great fun for me to try and pick out what products we're going to sell and what we're going to offer and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting time. If you've got thoughts of becoming a vendor and you don't have £500,000 behind you, don't even bother, because you're not going to make any money for the first couple of years, and it's going to take time to make money. So you need to be really well funded and prepared to wait in this market right now. It's difficult. It's really difficult. I kind of picked up Warhammer again for cheap hobby. Yeah, I think most people drop and ship between hobbies all the time. That's okay. That's how it is. I personally thought Agliston should have started with a 60% board. I know some who like the board but were apprehensive because it's Agliston's first board. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. I know it's their first board, but 60% don't sell as well as TKLs do. So I think TKL from a market perspective is probably the best choice. Any builds that you would like a steel plate for? Alps. Alps works with steel really well. End of year bonuses at business year end is April. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Would be cool to see if, let's say, MK UK, we could arrange community builds with different plates and put them beside each other, consistent keys and all GMK keycaps or something. Yeah, I mean, we've done that before with stuff, like when we've done the PT Open Days, we've had like 5 of the same keyboard and stuff, and it's really difficult to have like tests and people be able to, even like the workshop here, to be able to test how things sound. At a meetup, it's going to be even harder, so yeah. Everyone feels a little bit richer February to March with no council tax going out. That's true. It's true, yeah. Everyone's in the UK's council tax starts in those kind of months, so yeah. Do you think there's too much too cheap stuff being offered at the moment? So I think if you look at any hobby, the race to the bottom that most hobbies go through at some point tends to end up killing the hobby to some extent, and keyboards is absolutely going through that at the moment. And the whole, don't get me wrong, from a consumer perspective it feels great until you realize that there's no new products coming that are different and no one's taking any risks, because all of a sudden, you know, it just is how it is. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I think the keyboard market is saturated. I think even we've paid too much for too much stock at times, and there's certain things we shouldn't have stocked. Retro 100 is one that springs to mind straight away. We ordered so much of that because I was convinced it was going to sell from all of the interest check stuff, and then it just didn't, and it's been sat on the shelf for 2 years now. There's other stuff as well, like, you know, certain desk mats and things that we bought. Like Sour's a great design, and we bought the Sour Dark Series desk mats, the Sacred Dark ones. We've had them in stock since 2021, and we didn't buy that many of them, and we've still got them sat on the shelves. We've still got more than 50% of what we bought sat on the shelves. So I think the saturation is one thing. The choice of stuff is another. There's just too much choice at the minute for people, and as I say, it's like sitting down in a restaurant and just seeing a million things, and it's like, well, I want a pizza, but there's 50 different pizzas here. How do I decide which one I want? Whereas if you've got a choice of, you know, vegetarian, margarita, pepperoni, ham and pineapple, you go, oh, I want that one. Whereas if you've got a million different choices, it's really hard to make a choice. And I think that's kind of why it's difficult for people coming into the hobby now to try and pick what they want to buy, because they just don't know what they want. They just don't know. And there's so much choice that it's overwhelming. It's if you've played the video game Destiny, it's like that. Like if you haven't picked up Destiny for 6-12 months, you go back to play it and it's like, I don't know where to start, because it's just so overwhelming. And I think that's the keyboard hobby right now. There's been so many products released. People have done cash grabs for certain things over the years and tried to make money out of the hobby, which is fine. That's how business works. That it's created a kind of vacuum of products that are just now languishing around and not selling. It's difficult. It's difficult. Super simple menu. Yeah, like if we had one red key set, one blue key set, one yellow key set, one green key set, one black key set, one white key set, people would have very little choice. But we'd probably sell more of those individual products than we do other ones. So it's really difficult. It's really difficult. No council tax on February to March. Since when? That's always been the case for us here in Yorkshire. We pay over 10 months. So, yeah. Some keyboard brands might have a Moonswatch moment, something budget compared to their normal offerings. Yeah, that's not always a good thing, because then it makes everything else look bad value, right? Watches are kind of different because you can still see the value difference in the proposition. But if you look at a Neo 80 and then you look at like a JO1, the JO1 is my passion project and I absolutely want to bring it to the market. And I'm now worried about Christmas, and I'm probably going to delay it till the new year if I'm completely honest, because of Christmas and November and kind of like that kind of period of time. But like, how do I make that feel like good value for money when the Neo 80 or the Neo 65s are a third of the price and pretty much constantly available? It's really difficult to make something that feels worthwhile at that price point. I like to think we've cracked that with the JO1, because it's going to have some great colorways, it's going to have some great options, and it's going to be a really solid keyboard that's going to stand the test of time. But that's a market choice, and that's out of my hands. That's me throwing myself to the wind and saying, I hope this sticks, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, well, I'll just have to find the money to cover the cost of it. I don't think cheap stuff is inherently bad, but it leads to a lack of innovation. So what it leads to isn't not something bad, but what it leads to is it leads to corporate takeovers of hobbies. So hobbies tend to work in this kind of like silo for a long time, and there'll be very little made, but what is made will sell really well. And that was the kind of 2015 to 2017 period for the hobby. Then for whatever reason, that hobby will go through a boom period. You see this with Warhammer booms and drops and stuff like that, video games and all sorts of other things. And keyboards went through that during COVID. People at home, they wanted nice setups. They spent money on setups at home. So everything went boom. Loads of companies started up. Mellatrix, Neo, QWERTY Keys, the ton of vendors all trying to sell products and stuff, because they saw this massive upswing and they thought, this is a great opportunity. And it was a fantastic opportunity for everyone involved. But then that leads to like all of these other companies competing against themselves. And that's great if it's a consumer level product. Like if it's something like kettles or toasters, that's fantastic. But when it's in a hobby, it just leads to the death of the hobby, because it stops individuals trying to make a name for themselves to be able to do stuff. It stops the small grassroots projects generally meeting MOQ, and it means that everything becomes like a corporate entity. The people who've got money to throw at it to do the development, like Glorious and Keychron and all of those other brands, will just do what they can do to make it their market then. And that takes away from all of those grassroots projects. And what you see is stagnation in innovation, stagnation in design, and you see cookie cutter copies of every single product. So you see the same product from different brands, because they all think that that's the thing that the community wants now, because that's what everyone else is selling. And that's where we're getting to in the hobby right now. It's not becoming a hobby anymore, it's becoming a corporate entity, and the vendors that are transitioning into corporate entities will do potentially really well or potentially really badly. The vendors that kind of like try and hover on that, ride that wave, will do okay, and the vendors who absolutely try and keep to be grassroots stuff will really struggle. I think some will make it really well, like Justin will do really well, JJW will do really well, others maybe not, and that's just how it's going to go. So yeah, I agree that having budget products is great for people to get into hobbies and stuff like that, but it changes where hobbies go from being community-led passion projects to corporate industries. And when something becomes a corporate industry, you lose a lot of those people who are in that hobby for being in the hobby. You create an opportunity for them to leave, and that's what they do. So yeah. How do you justify having pineapple pizza on that list? Dude, there is nothing wrong with sweet and salty together. It's a flavor profile that's worked for thousands of years across every cuisine. There's nothing wrong with anything on a pizza. Pizza is one of those foods that you can put anything on. Like a sandwich, you can put anything in a sandwich. You can put anything on a pizza. And I wouldn't bet an eyelid at it. You pay the same amount ultimately, just a question of how many installments. Yeah. For the council tax, yeah, it's absolutely okay. I've seen the inverse happen for another hobby. Corporate began to sign tons of collabs, and it hyperinflated the price on products that were made to order. Maybe, yeah. I mean, there'll be examples in every hobby where there's the product ranges where that happens. But ultimately, what's happening now to the keyboard hobby is it's becoming more corporate, and things are moving away from the vendors that have been part of the community for 10, 12 years to people who have multinational, multi-million-pound corporations that can just drop a stamp on something and say it's their new product, like Keychron and Corsair are starting to get into the game now. Apple have just started to look at getting into the game as well. So yeah, there's going to be a massive phase shift in the hobby in the next couple of years, and I think it's going to lead to a lot of people who are vendors today doing well struggling. That's genuinely my view of what's going to happen, and that's driven by this race to the bottom. Because once the race to the bottom happens, the companies who can make stuff in huge amounts benefit. So yeah. Cool. Okay, right. Next job is for you guys to pick some switches for me, because we're at 20 past 10, so I've got another 40 minutes before I have to go home. It's now time for you guys to pick some switches. If we've got a mod, can a mod put up a poll for this one? So for the Matrix High, we've got a choice of 3 switches, and you guys get to pick. We've got POM piano switches, which are here. We have got seal switches, which we haven't used for a long time, but I found this bag in a cupboard the other day, and I figured, why the hell not? Let's use them. So seal switches. Or we've got good old Gateron X switches. So those are the 3 choices. There'll be a poll up in a second, I hope, and we'll see. We'll see what you guys want to put on it. No click. No, I don't use clickies, I'm afraid. JLabs went on hiatus because of this. Jeff shelved Facet 65 idea because in this market he just cannot price it competitively anymore. Yeah, like there's a ton of stuff that we just can't price competitively. Like I know the JL1 isn't going to be competitive in price, but I hope that the overall feature offering will make it a viable option. We'll be able to sell enough to make MOQ. Mainly because I'm going to front the cash for a lot of it. So yeah. Seals are super heavy, right? I think they're about 70 grams, I think, from memory. It's a long time. This was the last of the stock we had. They don't feel particularly heavy. Let me have a look. Let me have a look on the website. Oh, these aren't seals. These aren't seals. I'm wrong on these switches. They're not seals. What are they then? Let me have a look. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find it. These are a really old switch. I thought they were seal switches, but they're not. I'm struggling to find out what these are. They look very similar. Frosties, if they are blue bottom, white top. Yes, they are Frosties. You are right. I think I just found the listing for them. Yes, they're giant V4 Frosties. Yes, they are giant V4 Frosties. That is exactly what they are. My mistake. I thought they were seals just by looking at them. So instead of seals, we'll just pretend that says Frosties. Yeah. The seals are two-tone housing on white stem. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, I thought these were seals from memory, but I was only going from memory, and we sold a lot of switches over the years. So invalid result. Redo the poll. It's fine. We know what it is now. People can vote. They're great. Yeah, Tony the Tiger. yeah, I'll be interested to see how a few passion projects that we know we're going to be running this year do. 2025 do. It's going to be interesting to see, because I think that some are going to really struggle. I think that some projects are going to really struggle. This poll is very Tory. I'm not a Tory. I am absolutely not a Tory. Please don't tell me I'm a Tory. Take no offense. I'm definitely not a Tory. I assume you meant Tories in the political party. Fighting words from Rue. Absolutely, that is fighting words. Looks like Pompiano's going to win. Not you, just the poll. Oh, the poll is very Tory. In what way? In what way? Explain your thinking, Rue. Explain your thinking. I'm interested to see how you mean that. I'm interested to see how you mean it. Wonder how much the Apple custom keyboard will cost. I saw that they were partnering. I think it was with who was it they were partnering with? I saw that they were doing one with somebody. I saw that they were doing one with somebody. I can't remember who it was now. But I did see there was no, it wasn't the Keychron keyboard on the ad. It was something else. There was something else that I saw, and it was they were working with the company. Like, I think it was like Corsair, and it was one of Corsair's new keyboards. I'm sure I saw that. It was only the other week that I saw this as well. I can't remember. Anyway, it wasn't like a proper custom keyboard, but it was like something along those lines. It was proper custom keyboard aligned. It was something closely aligned. Okay. Oh, the switches turned out to be something else. Notorious. Okay, I got you. Yeah, it wasn't the Apple keyboard board starting from 1500. Yeah, no, it was something else. It was like, I'm sure it was a Corsair board, and it was in one of their advertisements, or it was, in fact, no, it wasn't one of their advertisements. It was some news article I saw saying that they were going to be starting to sell it alongside some of their products. Unless I was being misled and it was fake news, I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure I saw something on that front. That switch did not feel good when I pushed it in, so I'm just going to find the switch puller and take that one out. I figured that that's got a bent pin straight off the bat. Oh no, no bent pin. It just didn't feel right when I pushed it into the board. Okay, that feels better. Wouldn't be custom also since they wouldn't want the customer opening it. Yeah, I don't think it was Apple. I think it was just Apple teaming up with someone else. I'm sure I saw this the other day. I'm positive I did. I'll try and dig it out and share it on Discord if I do find it. I'm sure it was Corsair or it was a brand very similar to Corsair. If it wasn't actually Corsair, it was that kind of brand. Anyway, we'll figure it out at some point. Perhaps they just want to license the JL1 and use that because it's the perfect keyboard. I do remember a few years ago there was a UK vendor called Caps Unlocked, and he was convinced that Apple were going to buy him out at some point. I don't think that ever came close to happening, but it was a fun conversation to have with him from time to time. Not Logitech. I don't think it was Logitech. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think it was Logitech. It was definitely a mechanical keyboard, not like a Not like any butterfly type keyboard or anything like that. Apple has partnered with Corsair for its first gaming keyboard and mouse that could turn your Mac Mini into a little gaming console that could. Got you. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. I thought it was Corsair. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Yeah, maybe that's what I saw. That Apple are partnering with it. Yeah. Oh, I don't have Discord open, Pokemon Kid, so it's not something I can check right now. Yeah, it could be something like that. The PCB has Gouty's name on it? What? Are you sure? Oh, the Gizmodo link in Chabo. I didn't see that. Yeah, that might be exactly what I saw, actually. It might be in that exact article. Yeah. I think that might be what I saw. But it just means that Apple are trying to get into this game because they've seen it happening. So, who knows? Who knows? So you says thanks to you on the silk screen. Remember I showed it must be 2 years ago. Does it? Oh, the Caps Unlocked 65 does? Yeah, sorry. I thought you said the Cub 65. Sorry, yeah, the CU65 has Gary's name on it. Yes, I did know that, yeah. Corsair K65 Plus. Yeah, I thought it was a Corsair keyboard. I was almost certain it was. I feel vindicated now. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Apple have their bone blue color of it. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think the CU65 PCB was done by Andy, right? I think. Why does this switch not want to go in? Go. Pretty sure it was Andy that did it. I know that Will was working with them as well at the time. Yeah. Okay. Then we have a good place to get marble quartz wrist. We have some in stock, yes. We have a couple left in stock, and we will be getting more at some point soon. But yeah, we do have some in stock right now. I think Reed has actually dropped you a link. Captain Reed has dropped a link in chat for you as well. We have them in white and black, I think. Marble wrist rests are beautiful, can confirm. Yeah, the guy who makes them is really cool, and they're just really, really nice. They're just one of those things that's just a really nice thing to have. What's the secret offer, Jay? It's in the pins at the top of the chat, but it's basically our Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals are live now, but only for stream viewers. And then we'll announce them properly tomorrow when they're actually supposed to go live at 6 PM on Monday night. But yeah, it's basically 30% off of any in-stock artisan or desk mat, and 10% off any in-stock keyboards, and 12% off any in-stock key sets. And it'll all apply automatically at checkout for you. You don't need to do anything special. You'll just automatically get the discounts. Okay, there we go. We have switches in the keyboard. My wallet hates you. That's okay. I love your wallet. It's great. It's fantastic. Tell your wallet from me, Super Hands. It looks great. It's getting so slim these days from all the stuff it's buying. It's looking really svelte and lovely. Cool. Okay, time to put the gaskets onto the pins. So we've got these 5 pins, and we need to put the gaskets on there. Trying to massage the foam back in between the plate and the PCB where the stabs have pushed it out a little bit. Yeah, those wrist rests are really cool. Like, they came out so nice. I think that's just feet. Yeah, don't need that. Don't need that. Maybe need those. Right, okay, let's get the case back together and let's start to put this bad boy all back nice and neat and tidy. So I'm not going to screw this in. I'm just going to gasket mount it effectively. Oh no, actually we will screw this in. I wasn't going to, but we will. We will screw this in. Yeah. Let's find the right screws for that. These babies here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to flip this over. We're going to feed this cable through the foams and connect it into the PCB. And we're going to drop the top case in just like so. First of all, we'll just put these screws in. We're only going to go finger tight with these. We don't want to go over tight because we're not trying to crush the gaskets. We just want to hold it all in place nicely. So I'm just going to go until I feel resistance and then hold it there. We're going to put all 5 of those in place. There we go. We're just going to connect this JST connector into the PCB. And that's going to light up the badge on the front just here for us. Take this plastic cover off now, I think. Come on, you want to come off, I know you do. So that's all looking nice, neat and tidy. Next job is to put the top and the bottom together. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay them next to each other. We're going to pull this cable back. I'm going to connect it in as it should be. We're going to move it back over where it should lay down. We're just going to make sure that's tucked into its correct recess as we put the top and the bottom case together. I'm going to flip the board over. There we go. And then we can put these screws away and screw the case back together. get hot wrist or hands, the marble will be cooling. Yeah. Yeah, the marble wrist rests are really nice actually. They came out a lot better than I was expecting them to. Oh, I put that in the wrong place. I wondered why it wasn't screwing in. Because I put the small screw in the back case rather than the front case where it's needed. Okay. One more screw to go, and then we can see how it looks when it's plugged in. Let's take the plastic peel off. Alex OP, thanks for the coffee. It's really good. Dude, did it get to you safely and securely? I'm interested. I was going to message you tomorrow to ask if it managed to get to you nice and safely and secure. Okay. So nice. Yeah, this looks phenomenal. Let's see if this is working with switch header. It should pop up on your screens there. Okay, let's bring the keyboard down a little bit so you can see it. Let's plug it in and we'll give it a try. Looking good so far. Oh, 5 key not working. I'll have to come back and have a look at that. Well, backspace is working, but it's coming up as the other key, so that's all good. And that's coming up as backspace. That's nice. That's fine. Caps lock's working. So that's probably going to be M. Yeah, so that gives us the F keys, the MO key. Okay, everything's working there apart from the 5 key. Let's see if we can fix that on the fly. I'm wondering if this is a bent pin. Could quite possibly, yeah, bent pin. Just change it, let's switch. Keyboard is now all working. We'll change the layout later on because I'm probably going to use this for a little bit at home. But that does mean that now it's time for you guys to pick. Look at the little light here. Can you see that? Light on the eye changing colour. That's so cool. Just there. So cool. Pick some keycaps for the board. In fact, I might just overwrite everything here anyway and just pick GMK Nerve for the board today and see how it looks. Let's zoom in a little bit. Switch hitter? Yeah. I think we're just going to pick GMK Nerve for the board because I think Nerve deserves to have a run out on a keyboard straight away. I know I usually give you guys the choice, but I think today I'm going to overwrite that. It's switch hitter. Let's go for the neon yellow enter. I think we need the 6U spacebar for this actually. Yeah. Does this have a 6U spacebar in it? You know what? I don't think it does. I think I'm going to have to find another 6U spacebar, but we'll carry on with the rest of the switches here, and the rest of the keycaps here, and then I'll figure out a spacebar for it in a minute. Because I don't think this has a 6.25U spacebar with it. In fact, I know it doesn't. let's see, up here. Okay. Can put the colours of the rubber and nerve spacebars. Yeah, I can do. Yeah, I can absolutely do that because there is a 6 use spacebar in the set that I can show you for that from. Yeah. Don't want to use too many novelties on this setup, so we're just going to use a couple of them. The poll was rigged. Quick, try it. Yeah. If this was 6U, Nerve didn't have a 6U spacebar. Yeah, yeah. Many things don't have a 6U. This is GK Nerve. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a 1.2. Oh, maybe, I don't know. I'll put 1.5U mods there for now. We'll see. It might need 1.25U mods there for now. It might need 1.5U mods. That P is in the wrong place. There we go. Okay, yeah, I can tell it's going to need 1.5s. Okay, cool. At least we figured that out straight away. Nerve on nerve, absolutely. No, do you know what? We will put Alt there, and we'll see if we've got another one you control. Actually, we'll use a super key there. I think the super key will look quite good there. There we go. Couldn't resist voting still. Sometimes this has to be a dictatorship rather than a... Sometimes it's just the way it's got to be, right? I had to think about what went there then for a second. Either I've missed the tab key or I've just not found it yet. There it is. Now I just need to find the S key, which I must have put back in the tub already. How have I managed to do that? Or I've dropped it. How have I managed to put the S in here? Let's just check these. That's definitely too long. What happened to the SR Habitat Artisans? We don't have them yet, is what's happened to them. That's the bottom line of it, I'm afraid. We don't have them yet. And there's the S. Cool. This key set really works on this board. I think rubber hose would have worked just as well. I am going to have to steal the rubber hose 6U spacebar. Although I think there might be one from Hyperfuse which would work better later on. I'll have to dig that set out from the keyboard wall. But Hyperfuse spacebar might work better for this set. But Hyperfuse and Hyperfuse out of baby. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Let me see if I can find the 6U spacebar from rubber hose for now. And I think we're lucky because it's right on top. This is the rubber hose spacebar. So you can see there's a slight colour difference there between the two. But still, that looks really good. So matrix hi-hat with POM piano switches and a GMK nerve. So yeah, should we see how the board sounds? Let's pause the music really quickly. What are the stabilizers that come with the board like? Let's find out. Those stabilizers are really good. Those stabilizers are phenomenal. They feel really good. They sound really smooth. They're really good. I might have to have a chat with Matrix and see if we can stock those stabilizers because they're really good. They sound great. They feel great. So yeah. Is this your personal hi-hat or a customer one? This is my personal one. It's the first actual board I've bought in a long time. I just asked Albert if he could send me one, and he did, and then sent me an invoice for it, and this is the one. So yeah, this is the warm grey colorway, but it just fits Nerve really, really well. Yeah, the space bar actually doesn't clash too badly. It's because it's kind of like halfway between the two colors of the board and the alpha keycap, so it actually doesn't look too bad. If I hold it like that, it almost looks like the light reflection makes it match, but it doesn't quite. Looks like an old AEK2 with a yellowed spacebar. Absolutely, yeah. Enter sounds lovely. The whole board sounds great. Better than Type Plus. I don't know if they're better than Type Plus. I'd need to play with it a little bit more. I need to play with them a little bit more, but they feel really good. There's no
tasty
real wobble or anything else to them, so yeah. Happy 27th month anniversary, dude. Yeah, 28 months for it, man. Well done. Thank you so much for the subs, dude. Thank you so much. Nerve looks incredible. Yeah, I can't wait until we can get Nerve in stock. As soon as the fixed keys come, Nerve extras will be in stock. Yeah, I need to play around with them more to see if they're better than the Type Plus stabilizers. But the Type Plus ones are really good as well. These, if you haven't tried the Type Plus stabilizers, these are actually left and right-handed, which I know sounds weird, but the actual housings themselves are they're different on the left side of the housing to the right side of the housing. If you look at the front here, you have to match pairs with left and right housings to make sure that they actually assemble correctly. And same for the inserts as well, because the wires have like a old Alps or Co-Star style hook to them. So they're very different to any other stabilizers on the market, and they're pretty cheap, but I've been blown away by these, so I think they're really good. Yeah, but these feel great. I don't know what stabilizers they are, other than the fact that they just came with the Matrix board, but I'm super stoked by this. It sounds great, feels great. That feels really good. Super happy with it. And the keycaps, the Biolinear Nerve set looks so good. So good. I'll show you this in the face cam so you can see it in a slightly different color. So the face cam's obviously got brighter lights on it for the face. So this is what it looks like in super stark lighting. It's probably washing out the colors a little bit. This is a little bit more color accurate these days. In fact, that's really accurate actually at the minute. How's the coating feel? It's softer than the original coatings, but it feels very much like most Matrix coatings. There's a texture to it, but not in a bad way. Pom pianos are a great choice. Yeah, they're a great switch. They're a great switch. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for this stream. Unless anyone's got any final thoughts, I will be disabling the Black Friday Cyber Monday secret offers in about 10 seconds time. So, well, in fact, actually, I'll disable them at 11 PM in 4 minutes time. So you guys, if you want to use them now, because otherwise they won't be back until 6 PM on Monday when we actually launch the deals properly. So yeah, definitely take a look at that. Thank you so much for watching the stream, guys. Apologies for not being here last week. I'll be here for the remainder of the year. I suspect every weekend now, so definitely back on track with the streams. And I'm going to try, not this week coming, but the week after, to do a Thursday stream as well, where we do a little bit of a deep dive into business dealings and what I'm doing behind the scenes. So definitely take a look out for that if you're interested. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Reach out on Discord or wherever, Instagram, if you want to have an update or anything like that. And I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.